Yeah.
So you got chat open. You got Chatish open.
I have chat open.
Let me use my marker here and go. And scratch through. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Our
wait. It looks like it's almost halfway through, but...
Hey, remember when you misspoke and said we were in hour 3 when we started the last hour?
That was in hour 2?
No. 0 to 1 is hour 1, 1 to 2 is hour 2, and from 2 to 3 is hour 3.
Okay.
We were in hour 3. We hadn't completed 3 hours.
Whatever,
we were in hour 3.
It was misleading.
It's all a blur.
This is you guys don't know TV talk.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Fine.
All right. We haven't been on TV. You have.
I don't think any of us know
I'll
TV
defer
talk.
to you.
I'm going to take my very professional pee break as you guys do this.
That's fine. You can do that.
Remember, out loud. Streaming out loud.
Yeah.
At least leave the door open.
Let's turn on that bathroom mic we wired up.
Oh. That's connected to the bathroom cam, though. You can't have. They're not mutually exclusive.
It's the toilet cam.
Fortunately, it is
not things that are happening
above the toilet, right?
All right, here's a question from Almost Working. I had a question about why SFX power supplies are not more popular and what limitations or shortcomings they have.
I liked this question.
Go for it.
I think they're not more popular just because they are serving a very specific kind of use case. They have gotten to the point now where they're up to 700 watts.
Are they really up that high?
Yep.
Okay.
I looked at a Silverstone 700 watt model. I know Corsair has one that's up there. And there's SFX, and there's a slightly longer one with the same width called SFXL that Silverstone does, which it allows them to use a bigger fan, too. Like they had, I think, a 120 millimeter fan, the SFXL.
Okay.
Because originally the SFX power supplies came out, they had these little tiny fans in them. They spun up really loud, and they were limited to like 450 watts, so you could kind of build a mini ITX system around them, but it's gotten to the point where you could run a dual GPU system off of one of these more powerful.
That's pretty impressive, because when they started, they were like 300 watt.
Oh yeah, and they only had like one PCIe power connector. Like these are, a lot of them are modular. There's a couple of them that are not, but
modularity is key in power supplies.
Yes. Well, in mini ITX especially, if you're dealing with a really small form factor case, everything is at a premium for space. So, and the one that I was building with, that I think I haven't used since the Encase M1 review, was like the 450 watt, like standard $90 one. That's the other big thing. They're expensive. So compare a standard power supply at a given wattage to SFX, and you're paying twice as much for SFX.
Right.
Just to get in the door. There's no like super cheap option. You can find some really inexpensive stuff, but the mainstream SFX form factor PSUs are like $90 to $100.
Yeah.
Or more for the higher powered ones.
Yeah, they're a little bit pricier on
Price
that.
premium, smaller package.
It's just like laptops, right? You get the smaller, thinner, lighter, you're going to pay a little bit more for that engineering cost.
I personally am a huge fan of the form factor because they make it so much easier to move around in the case, even if you don't absolutely have to have SFX in a mini ITX build. A lot of these smaller enclosures come with a bracket to use use like the SFX power supply or a full-size PSU. And if you use the full-size PSU, which is sometimes in a different mount location, it prevents you from using longer GPUs, or it might prevent you from using a dual-width cooler. There's sometimes trade-offs in the really small form factor cases.
Sure.
So they're just way easier to build with, and they give you better airflow because they're small. But kind of the industry has been implementing ATX power supply compatibility in almost every small form factor case.
Yeah.
Even that M1 still supported an ATX power supply. So there's no real push until you get into like the really thin like the tiny footprint cases that we've seen.
All right. Ericon asked what side guards I use on my haircuts. In the summer, I use a 2. In the winter, I use a 3. Right? You know, because it's colder.
You
This
need
is
a little more,
real talk.
This is it's a 3, and then I fade up to the top with scissor cut.
Okay.
Yeah.
I use a 1.
I'm usually finger length plus up top.
Sebastian's likes to fade.
Yep. I go for a little bit of a high and tight. I just tell them go 1 up high and then scissor cut the top a little bit longer.
See, 1 is too
a little
short.
bit longer than finger length on top. Those are my instructions.
One is too short.
I use a 1. The difference is I just don't fade. I just
1.
Just one everywhere?
Just one.
See, that would be great.
Just one the whole thing.
I don't think I have the head for it. I have an odd kind of head shape.
Oh, man.
Have you been shaving, Ellen? Or have the lasers actually been doing their job?
I have had to shave the white stuff off.
It's quite impressive.
I told Kelly, I was like, I think I might do that.
And so I still have there's maybe 30% of the dark hair left on my upper lip.
Yeah.
This round. But So for people in chat going, what the heck are you doing? I'm doing like the laser hair removal crap.
For your face?
Yeah.
What about that? Like
figure.
5 o'clock shadow.
For my face, yeah.
face.
So here's the thing. Like I have really dark hair and really light skin, so I would shave, and it would be as if I didn't shave because it just, I'd have a shadow like immediately, right?
I mean,
I have a very important question because we're doing a Q&A session. It's a little bit more casual. I'm placing an order for Jimmy John's, so if you would put in hip chat or something what you want from Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's.
we don't just put it into the IRC chat what we want.
No, please hip chat. Otherwise, I'll never see it. And then I'll place that order from there. Sorry, we got to order food here.
So I'm doing the laser thing, and they zap you with the laser. It feels like someone's like smacking you with like pulling a rubber band back and like smacking you repeatedly.
Sweet.
In the face. Yeah, it's not a pleasant feeling. But
let's see. Did Alan lose his headphones yet? No.
No, I did not. They are right here.
A Zen-like question: how much RAM can you fit in a room?
What?
It's more of like a deep thought question than a technical question.
That transcends the.
It's a lot. It turns out it's a lot.
Transcends the how many beers could you fit in a beer ball the size of the Earth question.
Yeah. In your opinion or Alan's, is the new 3D Flash type memory very durable in long-term testing? This is something you could probably talk about for the entire 30-minute period, but what is your quick...
No, the short version is just you don't have to worry about it like 3D in terms of durability. Like actually, at one of the first Samsung press events for the 3D Flash, someone actually asked this because they compared 3D Flash to like skyscrapers. And then someone asked, well, what if there's an earthquake? and it's like, so...
It's a legitimate concern.
So the structure, it's negligible, right? Like the fact that it's taller like isn't going to make it any less like physically, durable or anything like that. Now, as far as like endurance of the Flash and stuff like that, because the cells can hold more charge, because they're going vertical now, and because you're stacking them on top of each other, it just has longer endurance, right? It's better. The cells last longer number of cycles compared to like the same 2D Flash, because like the process node for like the 3D stuff is pretty much like 40 nanometer.
Okay.
So you have like 20 and 16 nanometer 2D Flash now, which is not good for that many cycles, versus the equivalent of like 40 nanometer, right?
Gotcha.
So it helps, right? It basically just makes it last longer, and we haven't seen any kind of endurance related anything with any 3D NAND products yet.
No, you would think, even going back to like some of the X25M classification time frame drives, like we haven't seen any like wave of SSD suddenly.
Oh, you mean like
wear?
You mean like
into the past?
Just drives wearing out and stuff. And we've had even in the comments lately, we had some people saying like, SSDs I wouldn't trust my dad on them for more than like 6 months.
Right.
People are turning on laptops that have been off for years now that have had SSDs in them, and if the thing still boots, guess what? It successfully was able to read everything. Yeah, like it has to read all the OS stuff, right? So you'd see all sorts of, problems.
Maybe you
Sebastian,
rich person
and chips.
I got stuff.
So you put an SSD in a laptop and sit on a shelf. You bougie individual.
I'm not going to name any names, but I've owned 2 SSDs from the same company that randomly corrupted my OS. To the extent that I ended up just getting rid of one of them and then lived with the other one.
Yeah.
You could probably name the company. I think I have a guess.
Yeah, I think you do too.
Oh, okay. Maybe we don't need to name the company. All right.
Let's see.
To be fair, my X25M did that.
Look up your Jimmy John's.
I figured out what that problem was. Ken had an X25M with a bad block.
Just one bad block?
A block just failed.
How does I have never...
You could basically, it just would hang when you were trying to read.
So like in the hard drive days, like when you fully format a hard drive, wouldn't it like find a bad block and then just mark it, oh, that's bad, and skip over it and move on?
If you do a full format like with the OS, then it'll actually put it like in the volume bitmap.
Yeah,
It'll
and ignore it,
map
right?
out. No, you don't usually have that now because
What about, I mean like at the controller level, like it would see, oh, this is a bad block, and it would stop.
If the hard drive does it, like, the same thing happens like if you're on SpinRite on a drive that has like a flaky sector or something like that. The drive maps it out. The OS never times out long enough for the OS to map it out on the partition.
Okay.
It just sees that it took longer than it should have. But the drive should map it out on its own.
So SSDs can do that too. Can they flag a section of their NAND as bad and just stop using it?
They do that all the time.
Okay, and they have reserve that they can kind of swap it out with?
Yeah. Ken's X25M was on like the first version firmware, and then he had a bad block, and it just would hang when you tried to read that block.
I'm glad that $200 80 gig SSD I bought failed.
I paid.
yeah.
I think I paid $300.
I think Intel still owes me an SSD.
Your block though was like right at the beginning.
Yes,
of it.
yes,
so
it
like,
was.
The drive would try to mount. But here's the thing: even a hard drive, same kind of failure, caused the same thing, right? Your OS.
Yeah,
wouldn't
but I
be
didn't
able
have to
boot.
pay as much for a hard drive.
That's true. That's true.
How much were those X25Ms when they came out? The 80 gig.
When I
think
bought
I-
it,
Yeah.
$650.
I remember like refreshing Newegg and like desperately trying to get one. I finally bought one. I think I paid $299 for an 80 gig.
I
bought-
mine was an HP OEM Gen 1 that some guy was selling on eBay for like
I was
$200
gonna say, I
at
saw
the time.
there was a lot of Gen 1s
Yeah.
for cheap on eBay. at
I
one
bought
point.
mine new from like some shady website or something because that was the cheapest price I could find. Because it was like they were $800 everywhere, and it was like I found one for $650. Oh, that's a deal. Like it's $150
And it came in a
off.
paper bag with no padding.
it was
just
like
loose.
it was in like the white box or the brown Intel brown box.
Oh,
thing or
okay, so it was like
whatever.
OEM.
It was a gray
Yeah.
market.
Yeah, it was an OEM. Yeah,
No
but,
warranty.
But I bought it based on this guy's review, and this is before I even worked for the site. And then like I put some VMs on it and slowed it down to almost nothing, and then it turned into the reason that I worked here now because poor Ryan got an email from some
So have you
random
put in
fan.
Angry people.
Have you put in the Jimmy John's order yet? Because we should be timing this. Obviously.
Oh, that's a good point. Now that we're recording it live, I need
What
his
the-
order.
What,
so
what do they got? What is it? Sandwiches?
sandwiches.
What do they have? Is it sandwiches? Have you ever
Is
been
it
to Jimmy
subs?
John's?
I did,
It's-
probably.
JimmyJohns.com/menu. Or have the chat order for you. I don't care. I'm hungry.
Jimmy John,
This is true. I am also hungry.
have the chat order.
All right.
Alan's about to
I'm
learn.
just tweeting out that we're still streaming.
Oh, that stuff. Okay.
And Alan has gone to
So,
the Jimmy John's website where he
when you-
is perusing the sandwich selection.
Give me a number, and then if what you want, don't want, chips, drink, etc.
See, there's a
Put it in
number
the
to the
chat.
left of each of the names.
I see.
So
here's a-
regulars just call out a number.
Here's a question. Dark Cinders asks, is it worth getting a 4K monitor for gaming, or should he go with a 1440p with G-Sync? And I think this is an easy question,
That is an easy question.
because
You will respond with another question.
no,
what do you think about...
No, what GPU do you have? How much are you willing
Well,
to spend on
it
hardware?
almost doesn't matter right now.
Really?
I would say, I would kind of say it doesn't really matter, because the advantages of variable refresh outweigh the advantages of higher resolution,
Yeah.
in my view. Now, I think 4K looks amazing, and you can get 4K G-Sync. Like, you can do that.
You can, but I think the refresh rate is not as high as it needs to be.
The refresh rate of 4K
G-Sync even.
is still 60 hertz.
Yep.
Like, that's the peak. Maybe
someone did
you
a
get
90,
70 or something like
if
that.
someone could do a 90, then maybe I
Wait
might
until
swing
the
over.
So obviously the advantage is that it'll still be smooth at lower frame rates with G-Sync.
Yeah.
So say all your hardware can do is 40, it'll be fine. All your hardware
Yes.
can do
With
is
4K,
36,
yes.
it'll be fine, right,
Yes.
with 4K. However, if you were to put your money into higher end hardware and a 4K monitor, you could potentially get your 4K content going at 60 with VSync enabled and not have tearing, right?
Yes.
And still have a pretty smooth
And
experience.
now you can choose which way you want. If you want tearing, right, above 60. But then, why go through all the trouble, right?
Right.
It also applies if you like playing a lot of older games. Like if you're playing like Deus,
Yeah,
Deus
especially if
Ex
you
or
were
something.
playing, like, it depends on, I think, the genre of game, too. Like, if you were playing, kind of like on that first call where he was talking about how a lot of hardware is geared towards FPSs, and there's a lot of strategy games and other older games
Yeah.
that don't need that kind of 3D power. But a 4K monitor, if you play primarily strategy games or, like MMORPGs or something, would be awesome because you get more screen real estate. They're not really taxing anyway.
That's true. But man, once you sit down with
I really need you to
144
focus on this Jimmy John's right now.
once you sit down with
What type of meat do you like on your stuff?
144 hertz panel for
Somebody in the chat asked my favorite sandwich. I like the Bootleggers Club.
Someone linked a Node.js module that you can run from the command line, so you can do sudo make me a sandwich and it orders from Jimmy John's.
That's pretty
From
good.
command line?
Yeah.
Nice.
You just-
Here's a question from Green LED. Wanted to know what interface is used to bridge between the Vive and the computer. Is it HDMI, DisplayPort? It is an HDMI connection. And the same thing for the Oculus Rift. They're using HDMI connections between the headset and the PC. Because they're only doing like,
under 4K.
it's like 2.5K, maybe like 3K at 90 hertz. So
Is that per eye?
I'm thinking total.
Okay.
Right? So the per eye resolution really doesn't matter. It still has to render the full resolution. right, for the game. And because they're slightly offset, game developers can do some tricks, or not game developers, driver developers can do some tricks, so they're trying to figure out some tricks so you don't have to like double up on memory completely.
Yeah.
Right? And we're also getting into the whole thing of like, how does multi-GPU work for SLI or Crossfire with VR? It would make sense to have one GPU per eye, but then your memory sharing capability goes way down. Right?
As things stand now.
Like you have to duplicate every item as it is now. So if you look at what the Ashes of Singularity guys are doing, where they're doing like shared, like it's a shared pool. It's like SFR as opposed to AFR, so split frame rendering instead of alternate frame rendering. So you can maybe try to do some of that in VR. But the problem with VR is any possible addition to latency is going to be seen as an adverse negative, right? So if it has to copy from this GPU to this GPU before it can send it to the Vive, that's a no-no. Right. So it has to figure out a way. That's
what's so challenging about it. It's not just latency is more important than frame rate. No, frame rate is essential. If you don't have a really high frame rate, you're not going to have the same reality, and it's probably going to make you sick if it lags too far behind. So you need both. You need 90 frames and you need low latency.
Yep. Somebody wanted to know, and this maybe King could answer this too, Almost Working wanted to know, why are like the brands like Iyama and those Korean monitor brands still not more popular over here?
Distribution, right?
Yeah.
Would you say?
That's pretty much what I would say. I know like one of the 1440p monitors made into Micro Center, and it was always sold out whenever I was in the store because they actually had retail distribution. But I mean, buying off eBay or third-party sellers off Amazon isn't a solution for most people. They want to be able to buy from an actual retail site or retailer, and it's just not the option that you get with these Korean monitors.
I think it becomes a lot of like it's word of mouth and like anecdotal. Like if you have a friend who got one, they're like, "Oh, this is where you go. This is the one I bought. Here's the seller I used, and it's great. I don't have any concerns." Because if you're looking into it and you're like, "Is there a warranty? Like, how would I get it serviced?"
Yeah, that's why when I've
I'd be very skeptical.
Yeah, that's why when I've written these articles and news posts, I always put in the exact seller I bought it from if it's a good experience. So it makes it a little easier at that point. But I mean, I still have the Korean 1440p monitor at home that I ordered. What was that, like 2013?
That was a while ago, yeah.
It works fine. I think.
What are the prices on those now? Are they still in the $250-ish range?
I don't know. They got more expensive at some point. I think it was
that's why that was a good deal when I was at CES talking to Monoprice, and they actually have it on their site now. The 1440p monitor they were bringing forward that had a A+ panel, $249.
That's really good.
So, like, is it cheaper to do Korean panels than that now?
I don't know. I think they may have moved on mostly from the 1440p stuff to
because now you can probably save money on 4K.
That's the thing is like they always have to be one step ahead of what is happening over here. So like that's why we got the Wasabi Mango 4K HDMI 2.0 60 hertz panel. Is a Korean made. Like 25 by 14, 100 hertz, like that's everybody's got those now.
It's played.
Right? So now we had to move on to the wonderful world of Wasabi Mango, which I think worked out.
40-inch FreeSync 4K.
Yeah, and we still use it.
What's the range on that one? Wasn't it pretty low?
It's like 45 to 60 or something like that. It's very low, but
so basically it's a TV.
I will say that the higher you go on refresh rate, if you can get a monitor on the cheap, if you can get like 144 hertz non-variable panel on the cheap, like it's really hard to. You just run it VSync off. It's really hard to see the tearing.
Yeah.
Like on a 144 hertz panel, it's just like, and even if it's at the slower FPS figures in a game, the tear is only on the screen for like a fraction of the number of frames that same frame was redrawn. Mm-hmm. Right? Because if you're playing a game and it dips down to 30, but the panel's refreshing at 144, right? The same frame got drawn 4 times. One of those frames had a tear in it. And it was only there for 6 milliseconds. Right? So it's like, it's just super hard to even see the tears. It's not like when you do a slow pan with like a 60 hertz panel and the game's running at like 58 or something, and you could just watch the line, the really bad line.
I always liked it when you could see it scan out on a TV where it goes moving down. Yeah. 3:30, Jimmy John's order was placed. 3:30.
That's a very good time to place an order. It makes things easier.
They should not be busy at 3:30 on a Sunday.
3:30 on a Sunday? No.
Should be here in 10 minutes.
How far from this building are they?
They're on Mall Road, so it's like
a 7-minute drive, maybe.
if you have to wait at lights.
You'll have to wait.
As we've spoken, one of the sandwiches is already.
You gotta
been
go.
made.
You gotta turn left on the Mall Road. You gotta turn left.
It's already
There's
in the
like
car.
4 lights in between there.
Yeah.
You'll get stuck at Mall Road in 18, definitely.
Let's see. Dark Cinder says he's an MMO and FPS player, and most of his friends with 4K complain about scaling of text being really small, and that's a concern
problem.
with
That's
4K
a problem.
as well. It's not really resolution that many developers have targeted, and so you get like these tiny little things, and like the text boxes of an MMO, I'd imagine could be scaled really, really poorly. Anybody else find any interesting questions coming up here? What current game has the best graphics? Man. Rise of the Tomb Raider gets a lot of nod for that already.
Yeah. Battlefront's really pretty.
Yeah, and see, that's what's interesting. Battlefront is gorgeous, but it is, in my opinion, it's a difference of a game that has a real, like a set, like a known thing that they're trying to replicate, versus something that's kind of like in a sci-fi world that you can get away with kind of some abnormalities. So I think the Star Wars universe lends itself a little bit better for there. I do not rent Alan out. I don't know. What sub
He's
did Alan order?
freelance. He rents himself out.
So the chat, just like they were throwing numbers out, and they completely just overwhelmingly picked the number that I picked, like without looking at the chat.
They know you.
The sandwich?
Yeah.
Nice.
They're all like
just knowing you as like a noob,
they're all like
right?
number 5. They just all looked at the menu and they saw the Italian one.
I don't think...
And they were just like, oh,
That's possibly racist, but accurate.
it's yeah.
Let's see. If you got more questions, put them in there. You can tag me or Alan on it, and we're seeing these as well. Let's see.
So my data on 256 gig USB 2 flash drives.
You could do that.
I mean, you could. You don't want to trust external drives, like external USB.
Well, something that has like a physical connector that
like,
could just break off.
No, just
as well.
But the really cheesy ones, they only have like one flash die in them or something, or there's a really cheap controller, or it's like, it's just other stuff that breaks in those things. Like can't treat those like they're SSDs necessarily.
Right.
Right? Because they're just, they're like the bottom grade flash. Some of the ones coming out now are actually like QLC. Actually, like 4 bits per cell, because it's just for like storing, it's not meant to be like worn out a lot and stuff.
Hey, Muddy Mind, the off-screen voice is Ken.
Yes.
Oh,
That
yeah.
wasn't already answered for you.
Yeah.
Who?
I never heard of him.
Okay.
How many racks of storage do I have at home? I have a table in my basement with just a row of 6 terabyte hard drives just sitting on it.
That seems safe.
That's not...
They're just on their side. There's just like a row of them.
He also
Like spaghetti.
has cats.
And I do have cats.
This seems like a very poor setup.
I feel like
is.
you, of all people, should have a SAN and maybe like a whole rack full of like
I'm getting there.
storage arrays.
I'm getting there. I've built SANs. I built this thing for the Navy. I put a link in the chat a little bit ago.
One of the MIBs is
That's what I
asking
built for the
about a
Navy.
50-inch 8K display for productivity. Yes.
Gimme.
Yes, but you get to a point where you have to enable scaling. Like 4K is pretty much already there. Like if your resolution per inch, if your PPI is so high, your pixels per inch is so high that you have to enable scaling, then the benefit of high resolution gets muted. It's more about clarity
I disagree.
of image.
Well, yes. Because you can do.
seeing more
Think
real
about
estate.
the kind of sub-pixel smoothing you can do for things like fonts being rendered on the screen. When you have so many more sub-pixels, I personally have always loved the way that native resolution looks more than anything. And I don't care if there's a little bit of like a jagged edge to something. I would rather have that than something that was sort of artificially softened and look kind of blurry and out of focus. If you can do it where it looks really sharp and is a lot more detailed, the best example of that I've seen on a computer is like a Retina Mac. But then all of that is lost if you start to run an application like a game. The few games that run on a Mac don't take advantage of the Retina display anymore. Suddenly you're just dealing with the native panel resolution again. Everybody who has a smartphone deals with scaling every day.
Yeah, you just don't notice.
Yeah, and if you have an Android phone and you're like me and go into ADP and mess with things in the command line, then you can change the scaling number and get very different results. And if you go down to something like 360 on a phone this size, it becomes tiny. And if you go up to, I think this is by default 540, Like all you're doing with a 1440p smartphone screen is viewing like a simulated 720p screen, or maybe even 540 by 960.
Bird of Night in the chat has a good point, and then he's talking about the thing that's on my desk, the 40-inch Seiki. If you're doing productivity and you're not doing a lot of gaming, that's pretty awesome display. Like it's just if you're a person that likes to have one display and not have multiple, but
I use Lightroom a lot, and Adobe, I think they've actually fixed this, but they weren't scaling the menus, like the actual controls.
I see that on my, because I have a 1080, is it 1080p? But I enable scaling because it's a 12 and a half inch?
It's a 13
inch screen.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's the XOS 13.
It's a 13 in the form factor of an 11.6.
There you go. That's why I was getting so confused.
It has
but I have to scale it some
edge.
to get the buttons and things how I want them, because I'm old and I stand, like, this is at 100. I think these icons are too small.
They are pretty small.
Right? And I had to do this in order for us to be able to capture it, but it makes, by default, things are too small. So
Yeah, but if you take 4K and you stretch it all the way out to 40 inches, the pixel pitch is almost like a standard pixel
Black
pitch.
Wolf wanted us to feature his RGB GPU on our stream, so if you look at this,
What?
those
Holy
are
crap.
RGB 120mm fans, and he looks like he has zip tied.
What kind of cooling performance are you getting from those case fans?
I'd like to know what
So
video
wait.
card that is.
I don't think there's a lot of static pressure from those fans.
So you took the shroud off of the GPU and he had the
Maybe,
heat
I don't
sink.
know.
Actually there are some high static pressure RGB fans now. Maybe that's one of those.
I don't
He
think those
obviously goes to the School of Linus.
Yeah.
are. Yeah.
The
Let's
GPU
see.
died shortly after those photos were taken.
What monitor would I recommend to go with a 390? I think for that class of GPU, any 25x14 display is the resolution you want to go with.
Because you can actually start setting the games up to high and even ultra settings.
I understand there are a lot of people out there that have 1080p displays that they're perfectly happy with, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But I think the jump from 1080p to 25x14 is pretty good. And also, if you're going from like a 24 or 22 to a 27, that's going to be a pretty big difference for you as well. I don't think it's time really to go up to a 4K, especially not with that GPU. And if you have a 390, you can get a FreeSync display, right? So a 25x14 FreeSync monitor might be a good option for you. It's going to be a little bit more expensive probably because they're just newer displays than a standard 25x14. But I don't have a specific suggestion for you, but I would look for a 25x14.
I'm still waiting for anything with DisplayPort to support FreeSync. Just variable refresh being supported no matter what, but of course that's panel dependent.
It's panel platform dependent.
K70 RGB Master Race. Actually, I have one of those. I like that.
What is your preferred keyboard?
Anything with brown switches.
Okay.
Blues.
I still haven't really picked a favorite switch.
And preferably,
I haven't had enough experience.
Preferably backlit. Like, that's all I really care about.
I do like
brown
backlit.
switches
Backlit is
and
a big deal.
I don't know.
I kind of like RGB backlit.
Every time a keyboard comes in here, I try to use it for some period of time, right?
Yeah.
And I really, really like the Omron switches on those Logitech keyboards.
Oddly enough, you've never really done that with a Cherry keyboard.
Yeah.
No, I did. Well, no, I had what did I have before that?
Topre.
You had
The Topre, which was the
yeah.
electrostatic.
You're a real keyboard hipster.
Yeah,
I don't use Cherry switches. I use Topre and Omron.
So I do the brown switches,
I'm
but
more
I
about
have
sound and feel.
I have to put the O-rings on them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Because they do what is it? Actuate before they're bottomed out,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the O-rings make them a little quieter, right?
yeah, way quiet.
Nope. Blues. No O-rings.
Are removing?
I like blues.
If
the
I have my
feel-
bedroom door open, my roommates complain.
Yeah. The first one I ever had was black. I bought a
true.
SteelSeries keyboard with black keys, and this feels pretty good. It wasn't exactly like I remember with like the old mechanical keyboards, like the
Right.
IBM keyboards, but
Here's one. Are we moving towards a, quote, all games on Steam era? This comes from Green LED, where no games are DRM free. What can you see in the market?
I would have said that a couple weeks ago.
So, I don't care about DRM free games.
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me
in the
that much
sense
either.
that I think Steam is such an agreeable platform
Yeah.
that I have no qualms logging into it to do it. Like, we have some issues here. Like, we were trying to download a game on 2 machines, right? And it was my game, and I had to wait for it was done to download on one to log into the other to download it there,
Yep.
and that's kind of a pain in the butt. But not many people are going to be in that
You're
situation.
an edge case.
Right?
Yeah.
I think Steam is it's fast, it's reliable.
Yep.
You can download as many times as you want. It does cloud saving. It has so many cool things that I think the idea of DRM-free gaming doesn't mean as much as it used to.
But then compare it to Origin.
And Origin's
fine.
I hate Origin.
But for what reason? Like, there's no reason other than you're unfamiliar.
Two separate PCs. Something has gone wonky with it, where it would just
my
randomly
complaints
crash
with Origin are like, again, an edge case. If you try to start Far Cry 4, no, wait, that's a Ubisoft game.
Battlefield 4.
So you start
Battlefield 4, whatever.
Wait,
there's a game.
What does Ubisoft use? They have their own.
Uplay. And it's the worst of the
Yes.
three. But the Origin issue is like if you change hardware out from under it a certain number of times, it will say, "Oh, you've registered this game too many times."
That's
whatever.
what. And you said that, like,
But you don't. That's not what it is.
What does it do then?
It locks you out, and you have to call support. Like Windows
kidding
would
me.
do.
it's
when
more
you
along the
swap
lines of
out-
Microsoft. Like you
Yeah,
change out too many
It's
components, you've got
happened
to
to us.
reactivate
It's not happened to
Windows.
us. It happened to Nate over at Legit, and he was emailing me about the issue.
Steam is so well done because it's everything you'd want it to be if you had a big library of games. It's a colorful interface that's easy to interact with, that has a list of your games, and you can go through and pick which game you want to play.
Now you
Sorry, I'm
can
just
buy.
trying to read
Now
it.
you can buy stuff. I've done this recently. You can buy stuff when it's on sale. Like even if you already have a copy of it and something goes on sale for $1, you can buy it and like stockpile a couple of copies of it and give them as gifts later.
You can do gifts later?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Okay.
you
I
can put
thought
it in
had
like
to
a
purchase.
you can put it in like a side inventory. If you already own it, it's like, all right, well,
This
you
is what
already own
this is what
but-
normal people do. Yes, they buy
It's
multiple
like-
copies of games they already own.
Well, I mean, I got some kids that I
Oh, I see. Yeah.
that I
Well, see
want
if,
to
if
give
there's
gifts
that,
to later.
so.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, this
That's
is on
cool.
sale now. Their birthday's in 2 months from
Yeah.
now. But hey, I'll just buy this stuff now, and then
Ken,
I've
will you,
done that.
Mute me. I'm going to disconnect and go over to my other seat. You guys can continue to.
So, like, I love GOG, like good old games.
Yeah.
And you can go
Yeah.
and you can get a self-contained XE that will install an older game, and it will work on a modern operating system. There are old games that I like that it would be a pain in the neck to get working on a modern system. I can tell somebody about it, hey, it's $3, or when they have a sale, like get this game for $1.79, and it'll actually install and run on a modern computer, and it's painless and legal and no DRM. Because the easiest thing to do is just to pirate the stuff. If you want to buy it and support the developer, then Steam has become the easiest way to get a game right
Yeah.
into your house.
Well, if you want to support the developer even more, then I would say look it up on Humble Store.
Like 10 minutes ago.
that supports them more. I thought they generally were undercut a bit to meet the pricing.
if it's a sale, then there's
Oh,
a
I
slider.
see. Right, the humble bundle. Right.
There's a bundle,
Yeah.
and then I think even with the store orders, I think you can. I think a bigger cut goes to the
Okay.
dev for Humble Store.
interesting.
Because
But then is that like how are you buying the game? Is that going to a Steam?
no,
Excuse me, download code?
So that depends. But the version, I think all the time, I think this applies for everything from the Humble Store, is always DRM free. They might also give you a Steam key.
Really?
Yeah.
So you just get like a download link, and then you get a DRM free
You have an
installer?
account. You have an account on the Humble Store.
Okay, so we.
And it gets added to your thing, and you can download it at any time. You have an inventory
Right.
there
That's
of
like
all the stuff
GOG,
you've
yeah.
bought, just like good old games,
we-
right? But the direct download via Humble Store is always a DRM-free thing. Like The Witness that just came out, that puzzle mist.
So when you
style
download
game,
it,
right?
what does it download as? Like an ISO or an EXE file or like a zip
It's
file?
usually just like a zip of the installer, the
Okay.
whole thing.
And it's
Yeah.
just the whole thing and it doesn't require a key or anything, it just works?
Not usually, no. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, that's their
That's
big
nice.
thing. Like the Humble, the big deal with the Humble thing is it's usually DRM-free stuff. Even like the add-in content, like or extra DLC type stuff or soundtracks or whatever, it's just like in the directory, in the zip, just like with the rest of the stuff. Yeah.
I think the biggest deal for me, and I use Steam, is with Steam, I have never even thought twice about installing it on a new computer or all the many builds I do where I'll switch out components, and it's never been an issue. You just get a code, you put in the code, you've activated it on a new machine. And once in a
Yeah.
while, I actually clear out my list because I have no idea how many computer like motherboards in my basement or whatever registered with Steam. But and I have local backups of everything on a huge external hard drive, and I don't have this kind of bandwidth that you guys have in Kentucky here.
So there's somebody who's going to buy the 348Q Swift. He has two 780s. He's wondering if that's sufficient for 34 by 14 at 100. So I play on an original. No, wait. I used to have an original RG Swift. Now it's the what the heck is that Acer one?
The Predator X30.
The XB270HU.
Yeah, that. the IPS version of basically the original Swift. Anyway.
Original Swift was TN or was it VA?
The original Swift.
Probably TN, right? To meet the high refresh.
It was TN-ish at a minimum. Like, because it had color shift and stuff like that.
Okay. Could have been vertical alignment or
That was the reason I shifted to the Acer one, because that was the first IPS version to launch. And I just, like, jumped on it, because they were selling it. They had, like, a pre-sale or something. But, so two 780s, it depends on what game. Like, what games you're going to play. Like, I tend to play older games and, like, lighter weight games. And I only have a pair of 680s on 25x14. And most games will almost peg that thing.
Hey, to answer your question about bandwidth here, that was from Lost in Rehab. It's like a gigabit down.
What, here?
Yeah, what's up? What's upload here?
250.
Is it 500?
250.
Oh, 250. Oh,
250,
just 250.
300-ish.
So,
It's okay.
getting 900 megabytes down, 890 megabytes down.
Is Ryan more of a taskmaster than my commanding officer was in the Navy?
Not a chance.
I don't know what that means.
Ryan's not driving a
Oh,
submarine.
then
under the
you're
ocean.
commanding officer. I thought they meant theirs. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who their commanding
Right.
officer
Ryan
was.
has significantly less responsibility
whoa.
than
Whoa,
the
whoa,
commanding
whoa.
officer of a nuclear submarine. Ryan doesn't have a button to like nuke competing review sites.
You don't know that?
That would be
You don't
awesome.
know?
You've never seen that?
It's
button?
called
That would be awesome.
distributed denial of service, Alan. You should know all about
Yes, I
this.
know about that,
Ryan commands a bigger botnet.
but we don't
Never
do
mind.
those.
Never mind.
We occasionally get on the receiving end of random.
Not really.
It's been a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while. That's not a taunt.
No.
Damn
yeah.
it.
It's like, hey, my site's been up for an awful long time.
He wants to play Elite Dangerous. I mean, Elite Dangerous would probably be okay on that.
All right, guys, that's enough from you. We're gonna call Andrew. Our next very important, very serious,
By the way,
very professional
speaking
guest.
of very
Are you just
important
interviewing
serious,
from over there?
it's been 18
Yeah. Okay.
minutes and I don't have any food yet.
Well, Alan's got to go be on door patrol.
Oh, okay.
Because you got a computer to build.
All right.
So, all right. Let's call Andrew.
Let's call Andrew up.
Pop this down so I can...
Already did. Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hold on, I don't have my headphones in.
Well, that might be a barrier.
Hi, Andrew. I don't hear him.
He hasn't said
Hello?
anything.
Oh, there he is.
Hello.
How you going, buddy?
Hi.
Hi. I have had a request to find something other than Rocket League to play with you.
We've already done that.
We played that this morning,
Got to get the people what they want.
earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
What have you played recently that may be useful for us? Because you can't. We were going to get UT 2004 up on here, but
Yeah,
you had
but
some
I-
issues with that.
Yeah, it wasn't. I still have an open ticket with Steam support here, and they currently are sucking. So
Yeah. Well.
yeah, I mean, we could play Counter Strike. There's also this really fun game I've been playing lately, called Rampage Nights. I don't know if you've heard of this.
what kind of game is it?
It's
How much
it's
better
like
are you than me?
It's a roguelike a side scroller.
Is it multiplayer?
It is multiplayer.
Do I need a
haven't played it
controller, or
multiplayer
can I
yet.
use a keyboard and a mouse?
Probably not. I think it's controller.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Rampage Nights, $11.99.
Ooh, that's steep.
You're such a cheap ass.
That's steep. I buy a lot of indie games, so $11.99. That's a lot, man.
But so you like this one?
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's
right.
hard.
Okay, here. Let me download it real fast. Ooh.
Okay.
Apparently, I have an Xbox Elite controller I can use.
Oh, excellent. Hey, how are you, by the way?
I'm good, man.
Good to see your face.
You are live on the stream, by the way. This is Andrew.
Oh, cool.
This is Andrew Coonrad.
Hello.
He works. Yeah, he works at Logitech. What do you do there, Andrew?
I'm still trying to figure that out. But
Don't we all?
no, I manage technical marketing for their Logitech G, which is the gaming group. So I help communicate the technological elements of our products because not a lot of people know, but at Logitech G we actually invent stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And what were you
yeah.
in a previous life? You worked at NVIDIA,
that's correct.
and then
Yeah.
before that, Was it at a Greek restaurant?
Yeah. No, not a Greek restaurant.
Oh,
I did
I'm
work
sorry.
in restaurants a lot growing up, though. I worked in breakfast restaurants. That's how I learned to speak Spanish, is getting whipped by wet towels and getting eggs thrown at me and stuff. So.
Now, I have to say, I have no idea if this is just going to work out of the box, Ken. This could have been a horrible idea.
Which one?
We've got some time to fill.
We do. We got some time to
Turns
fill.
out.
I gotta buy this game. So
It's Windows 10. You can just plug in that wireless receiver. It'll work fine.
Okay.
So how's the stream been going so far?
It's actually been going really well. Let's see.
Nice.
It's almost 4 o'clock, so we've been going for almost 4 hours.
Nice.
We're almost a third of the way.
No issues. We're almost a third of the way done.
Are you? What kind of keyboard are you using right now?
I have this is the 810, the G810.
Nice. Me too.
It is. I like this a lot, actually.
I really like this keyboard.
And I'm using a 502, a G502 mouse.
Excellent.
As well.
It's a good mouse.
It's a good mouse. I like it a lot. I like the weight of it. I put all of the weights in the mouse.
Then you are
Uh-oh.
way stronger than I am.
Oh, you have weak little girl
Ryan's
arms?
just heavy-handed.
It's my little bird bones, you see? Yeah.
The disk space required for this game, Andrew, is 142 megabytes.
Oh, yeah. It's small.
Hold on, I want to see if I can even see it download. Oh, wait, no, it's
you
done.
have crazy Kentucky
done.
internets? Is that what's going on
finished.
down there?
We have gigabit internet here.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. Let's see.
I'm surprised that you guys have phone lines down there.
Oh,
let alone,
snap.
Oh,
Wow, this controller feels really good.
yeah, they're nice. They're good.
I've never held one of these before.
Dude, so they kind of stole the trigger thing from that one company, right? But it's pretty
I
cool.
like that a lot. So let's see. How do I do this?
What do you mean? How do you do
Like
this?
okay, I plugged it in. I'm going to go into controller settings and make sure it works.
Are you using Windows 10?
Yes.
Then it should just play nicely.
Where can I? What control panel setting do I go to see if I got this working?
Open up a command prompt.
No.
Sorry.
No.
Got your face. Got your face.
Set up USB game controllers. It's not listed. It's not listed. That's Alan. Our food.
You're really bad at Jimmy John's watch.
Alan.
Come on in.
Hey, Alan. Who's Alan?
Alan is the guy who's supposed to be watching for our food to show up when he missed
Alan, come on.
Such a disappointment.
it. We ordered Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. Is
right.
that the sandwich place?
It is.
So you have sandwiches down there in Kentucky too.
We got sandwiches and fast internet.
Man,
That's
I
what
am
we
jealous.
do. I don't. Do I have to like sync it with the controller maybe?
Well, yeah.
Let's see if this game will. We still need to add each other on Steam too.
I can't believe that we don't actually have this
You guys
already.
played stuff together.
We've played-
Oh, we played multiple times, so that's what's a little.
I have
confusing.
you on here. I see you in game.
Oh, you do.
Yeah. I see you.
I
in the
searched
game.
for you and it didn't come up. Did you give me a fake name?
Maybe.
You gave me a fake name.
No, I don't think I did that. Oh, maybe this doesn't have batteries in it, Ken.
Well, that could be it.
Oh yeah, doesn't it only work wired mode?
No, well, we've got the wireless adapter,
Dongle.
but I'll plug it in wired mode just so we can get going.
Oh my god, this game
Or
is
you could just put
hilarious.
batteries.
So what's cool about this game
Once I actually get it started.
basically it's roguelike, so every time you play it's slightly different, procedurally generated, and there's a bunch of items and all the items do different things and you die really fast, so it's pretty funny. There's one item that you pick up and it turns your entire head into a butt.
Okay.
And that is the only thing it does. I don't think it actually gives you any stats or anything.
This, you know what? Now that I'm here, this sounds like your game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, this game is awesome. I'm also playing a game called Nuclear Throne. I don't know if you played that. It's super fun.
I have not either.
It's not cooperative, but it's like it's
not
another
cooperative.
somewhat roguelike. It's kind of like Smash TV, 2D isometric platformer.
Right.
Super fun. Really hard. So I see that Tom Peterson is
Now I
joining
have
your
it.
stream. He should be playing with us. Although, if he was playing, he would want us to play Anno, which means we'd be playing for like 7 hours and nothing would happen.
Okay, now that I put batteries in it, it did work very smoothly, as it turns out.
User
Nice.
error.
Weird. Oh. All right. I'm playing now.
Okay.
Do we have to invite me to a party?
I believe that you just let's see here.
Or can
I hosted
I-
a game, so I think you just go to join.
Join
Oh
game.
wait, invite player.
I'm already joining it. You're too slow.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Are you here?
It's downloading game
Oh,
update. Oh,
there you are. Oh yeah. Hey.
hey. So what do the buttons do?
Apparently
Jump.
I can punch you.
And swing a bat.
So right trigger is to dodge. This is a very important skill. See this here? See how I'm styling all over you right now? You hold
So
the right
I
trigger
can
and move.
jump and I can hit. Oh, hold the right trigger and move. I gotcha.
Yeah, there you go. See?
It reminds me of Castle Crashers.
Yes, it's very similar. Only this is more. It's got roguelike elements, so which means that everything's random and the items are all random. And every time you play, it's different, and you have to start over when you die.
Awesome.
You get 1 life.
Oh, that's not great.
Yeah, so if you die, you come back once. I think it's just jump and punch, and then your bumpers will switch between your different items up at top, and you can only
Breast
carry one.
augmentation- Can't hear me. I can hear Andrew.
Whoa, that was crazy.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
What was that?
I don't know. Was that you or was that me?
I don't know. I could hear you just fine the whole time.
But you heard that crazy sound too?
I did not hear a crazy sound.
Oh, I heard a crazy sound.
That's not good.
Okay, we're back.
All right. All right, which way do we go? For me to
Okay,
start
we go to
dying?
the right. Dark Castle, this way. Which I think is a homage to the original Dark Castle game. Oh, that's right. By the way, try and pick that lock. So you go up and press Y, and it's sort of a little mini game. So you have to hit any button on the gold ones. There you go.
Boom.
Now we get stuff. Y to pick up. So this is a jumping potion, double jump. Okay, pretty cool. I'm gonna take that because I'm way cooler than you. And you press B to use your items.
Okay.
So jumping disease means I just randomly jump, and if you overcome it, you get double jump. I don't know. Oh, so there's jumping disease.
Yeah. Now, do we have team damage here? Are you?
So I'm a.
I see you're a ghost
well,
now.
I guess. Not sure what that means, but I think. Oh, don't pick that up. You'll get zapped.
But it's got an American flag on it, and it's.
I know.
It got an
But
eagle.
it's bait. It's bait.
So
See
are
how
you
there's
still
those
playing?
3 little things around it?
Yeah.
So being a ghost isn't that cool. I just get to hit people with my arms.
What can I do besides my bat?
You can. So if you hit with X button and then you press up or you can charge. And then once you charge, you press over in a direction to do a charge up attack.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. You got jump moves and combos and stuff.
Nice.
Okay, I have 7 souls left, and then I resurrect. So I'm pretty excited about that. I really want you to get the butt potion. I can't get money either? Wow, this is terrible. Oh, sorry. So now you have throwing items.
Okay.
But you can only carry one type of throwing item.
Oh, okay. And a B to use it?
B to use it, but you have to
look at
select the throwing slot using the bumpers at the top.
I see.
I do no damage, by the way.
Oh, so you can just keep them from hurting me.
Yeah, I just collect souls.
All right, I'll allow it.
I'll
So you said you just got back from a trip, right?
yes,
Oh,
I was
no.
in Switzerland.
Oh, I know who's in Switzerland.
Yeah, Logitech. Yeah, so one of our main design and engineering offices is there, and we were doing some stuff. So yeah, pretty cool.
All right, so we're back at the beginning.
Okay, let's
have-
try this again. Now
have
that
an
we know how
axe
the game
again.
works. Thank you. Oh shit, that was serious. Oh, sorry. Can I swear on this stream?
Yeah,
Can I
you
say
can.
Can I say poop?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Can I say butt?
Yep, that's allowed.
Can I say Gistoblast?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool. All right. I think that about
covers
my,
all of your swearing.
Yeah. All right.
So is there team damage? Do I have to worry about hurting
I think
you?
there's team disruption. Like
Right.
you can knock people down, but I don't. Oh, and the dudes with the shields, you got to jump attack them and break their shields. And eventually you'll get items that like make you do cooler stuff than just hit people. Yeah, get that. Yeah, break. Yeah, do it. Oh! All right, my turn. Oh, I failed. Oh, God.
Come on, what's wrong with you?
Can I help? Oh,
No.
nice. You did the double. Well done. Oh, so this is a good one, actually. I'm going to take that. I need this. I need this.
This mine. You made this?
Oh, this guy. This guy.
God.
This guy's a big guy. Oh, he hurts. Oh, God. You can knock him into the thing, though. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Are you dead again? Oh, no.
No! You can knock him the other way. Other way. Failure.
Man, I gotta carry all this weight around here. Well, hold on. Oh,
Okay, I got a soul.
God.
If you hit the pokey things, you actually take damage. Oh, dude, items galore. Look at this. Yeah, pick all that up.
What's this one? Let's see. Create. Oh, I want a magical decoy. Yeah, sure. I want that. Yeah.
Oh, nice. You're wearing the life vest. Excellent.
That's pretty
What
good.
does that give you?
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Okay.
It's got to be like. Oh, look! Step on them while. Oh, man, this grass is hard to see through. Almost like that's on purpose.
Oh, nice. Watch out. Watch out. Watch out. Yeah, I'm setting you up. I'm setting you up.
So after I kill these guys, I want you to get the souls. Is that right?
I think I will get the souls automatically.
Okay.
So
Come on over here, guys.
a couple more people have to die.
Let me see if I can make that happen.
You're doing pretty good.
I
You
only
have very low HP
4
though. So
health. Yeah. Do I have any?
do you have any potions?
I don't know. I do. How do I?
Oh God. All right, we're getting better.
They tell me in the chat that the life preserver saves me from falling.
Oh, okay. So the chat knows how to play this game.
They always know better than me how to do all of this stuff, so
That's true.
I just kind of go with it and move on.
Chat's always going to be better than you at
Yeah.
life. Oh, we got an egg.
That's good, right?
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's try this again.
So I like that you can stomp on them when they're on the ground too.
Oh, yeah.
That's important.
I don't think I do any damage to you. No, I definitely don't do any.
Yeah, I still have 80, so.
Okay, good. All right. Okay, we've passed the first. Now, don't grab that
Oh, why do you say that?
because it'll zap you and take half your HP. So if you really want the item, it can be worth it. But
Oh, it takes half?
well, it takes like I think 33 or something. Yeah, take that. Also, you can break all the stuff and get stuff. Oh, there's the butt potion. Eat it. Oh, ass disease. Oh, nice.
I've turned into an ass.
Nice. Okay. You're pretty good at that already.
Yeah, I got a lot of practice.
I got an apple.
Oh, bats are the worst. Is there ever a game where fighting bats is not the worst part of the
No.
game?
No, they do it. It's easy. It's a
Oh, look,
game
they can
designer cop out.
they can fly and get out of the way, and
But remember, don't fall down there.
Mountaineer's Schnapps.
Oh yeah, that one does. You like get really strong, but it takes a bunch of damage, or it hurts you, but you do a lot of damage or something. Help us, the chat.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I accidentally hit that button.
Whoa!
There's a chest back here. You do that. I'll do this.
Okay. Good job. Oh, I got an HP potion. Nice, you got one now too. Something just fell off the cliff, one of our items. I think it might have just been gold, but...
Seems fair.
Yeah. Here, have a guy. Yeah, so this grass is very serious.
It is. It's really hard to see through.
You just criticaled that guy. Okay, what's this? Throwing axe. Okay, I'll take that. Yeah, remember you got to use your bumpers to select the different items. So
All right,
you're not
I've only got
using
one
the-
item, but okay.
What's this? Bodybuilder's juice. Okay.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, obviously nothing. I lose five vitality, but I gain a very sexual physique, as you can see, by my wolf hat.
I still have the jackass head, so
Yeah,
there's that.
yeah. No, you're doing good.
So what do we expect here? What are we expecting here from Logitech in 2016?
In 2016, we're doing all sorts of stuff. I mean, we've already launched quite a few things.
Oh, I didn't mean
We
to do
launched.
that.
What did you just do?
I used my weapon like I just did there. I hit B instead of Y is what I'm saying.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Anyway,
I think there's going to be some stuff. That's for sure. But I mean, really, we're really focusing on software.
right.
Trying to produce some cool effects with our built-in SDK stuff. We're also really focusing on bringing more SDK support to the community. Right now, our SDK kind of requires a little bit more expertise in coding than maybe would be
Then you'd like.
normal. So we're really working on bringing a GUI to the SDK support and all sorts of
That's
different
cool.
stuff. So.
Oh no!
Oh! Did you fall off?
I did.
Are you a ghost?
I am.
Oh! You look funny as a ghost. Well, you lose your ass head though.
Oh, that's really disappointing.
Oh man, these guys are hard.
So I need 12 souls, it says.
But yeah, we got lots of cool stuff coming up this year, including all sorts of cool stuff. Lots of cool stuff, including some cool stuff.
Cool stuff, but with cool stuff?
Yeah, lots of cool stuff.
All right.
Oh man, you're missing out, dude.
Well,
There's a cudgel
There's
and a
a-
gladius.
there's a
I'll take
rum.
the gladius. Book of Magic Spells. Okay, we got this eyeball rum. Random demonic power and a curse. Okay. Makes you drunk.
oh, you hit that way harder than I did.
Yeah, you don't actually hit at all, so that makes sense.
I take off one, it says.
You do 1 damage?
1 damage.
Okay. All right. Dude, the gladius is actually... Thank you. the gladius is pretty good, I have to say.
Is that your new sword?
Oh! Oh, it's murky water. I don't-
Looks suspicious.
I'm not going to drink the murky water.
Yeah, that's a good call. I'll hit up
does
these
way
dummies
more
with the
damage.
bows because they getting.
Ouch! Nice. How many do you
Only
need now?
eight left. Did I just knock you off there?
Yes, you did. Very well done.
Cool. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how that game works. I feel like we should be able to get to not have this game be so hard.
You're saying we're not playing for long enough and we're bad players.
I'm pretty sure we're bad. Oh, here we go.
What's this guy? I want to hit him.
There we
Take
go.
that thing.
At death, you start at the beginning of the current level.
Are you
But I
changing
wonder
settings?
Yes, we're gonna go back to casual. We're gonna go to casual because we're filthy casuals.
I am. I've never
yes.
claimed to not
Customize your lady warrior.
be. Ooh.
Oh, surgery. Here we go. Now I'm a wolf lady. A goth wolf lady. This is way cooler. Let's try.
Let me look through here. I wanted to find. We have a contest that we're going to do while you're on the stream.
Oh, cool.
For somebody's going to win. Actually, they're going to win pretty close to the setup I've got here. A G502 mouse, a G810 Orion Spectrum, and a G640 mouse pad.
Whoa. It's like the whole kit.
If you want to enter for that, by the way, guys, it's pcper.com/SOL contest. That stands for Streaming Out Loud, Andrew.
Oh, really? Not speed of light?
Not speed of light, right?
Or super optimum language? Or
none of those things.
Sexual orientation legend?
Right. None of those things. It's streaming
Okay.
out loud. Are we going this way? Wait, if you hit it, does it like flip? No. Yeah. All right.
Oh, I'm an anime girl. Cool. All right. Maybe this will help us.
So
Are
enter
we-
in
are
at
we
that
ready to go
URL,
again, or are we gonna
guys,
give
and
away
we'll,
stuff?
we'll do the giveaway later. I'll give out the URL now so people know how to enter.
Okay.
You son of a... Oh, that guy's got a shield. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, we did it. There's stuff.
We're doing a
Yes.
3D print, too. Ken, show them the 3D print real fast.
All right, hold on.
No?
Let me tab out. Let me see the
Okay,
3D
never mind,
print.
don't.
Okay.
No, we're not going to. Ken says no.
Ken
Can
put down the band hammer. That's fine.
Ken can't do that right now, apparently.
I don't have that camera's not.
Oh, that camera's not hooked up, apparently. All right. Anyway,
You have cameras, but they're not connected?
we have more cameras than we have inputs into our capture system.
Sorry, you were a necessary casualty
I
there.
understand.
Yeah, that one's pretty powerful. That breaks shields too.
Oh, the charge does? Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, my max health went up to 90.
Nice. Oh yeah, mine too. I think that's because we were in casual mode.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, what's new for you guys? You inventing any new anything cool?
Oh, we're always inventing new cool things.
Yeah, like your streaming setup has slowly evolved, right, over time.
Well, only crazy people try to stream for 12 hours.
See, so what made you do this sadistic event?
I don't know.
Okay.
So, well, I mean, I guess kind of the reasoning behind it is we're trying to get people on board, sign up for the Patreon feed, trying to get people to realize the other stuff that we can do if we get a little bit more funding and stuff like that. So
Right.
that's kind of the idea.
I mean, money is cool.
We were like, you know, it's like a telethon, but not really a telethon because we'd do it even if nobody was going to pay us, as
Right.
it turns out. So
Well, that's cool.
yeah, it's an excuse to get people like you on and Tom on and.
Yeah, so I
Do
wonder
dumb
what Tom's
shit.
going to talk about, except for he might just repeat 80-20 over and over. I'm not sure, but that's what he was doing last time I saw him, so we'll see.
Oh, you must have been at PDX.
I was at PDX Land, which was very fun, by the way. If any of the
Oh, I love it.
viewers haven't been to PDX Land, I highly suggest it. It's one of the best lands in the country for sure. Matt and Jessica put on a really awesome
Yep.
event.
Yep, they do good stuff there. You're a step on your face.
Oh, ass potion. Here we go.
Ass potion.
Boom.
Oh, you got a butt face.
Oh, apparently my butt face.
You got a butt face.
I burp.
Is that what it's called?
I'm not sure. At this point, I don't know.
I want that, and I want that. Ooh, no, I want that.
Oh man, I love this butt face. I
I'm
even
jealous.
have a little pimple.
I'm
too.
jealous.
Awesome.
Wish I had a butt face.
I think it's called acne, right?
Asinine?
No, acne.
Acne? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, it's blemishes on your
On your butt?
acne.
Oh, like acne.
Yeah.
I get it. Acne.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm hip. I'm cool.
You're a cunning linguist, Mr. Strout. All right. Now that I have already used my ass potion, I'm gonna go ahead and just take this. I don't think those.
Yeah, apparently not.
I don't think those go anywhere.
Take ass out of my face.
Uh oh. So kick them that way.
Yeah, and also don't fall off the side. Got it.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Oh, look at
Ah, watch out.
this. Ouch.
Knife to the butt.
I just took that in the ass. Sorry. Is that?
Hey, what you do is your problem.
I'm not sure how not sure what level of innuendo to go for with this particular situation.
Oh,
nice try. Oh, okay.
Oh, you can hit it again. That's good.
Oh boy.
That's not good.
Yeah, I'm gonna just take this slow. Oh Jesus!
Are you? How much health does this take off of us, by the way?
A bit. It's not. It's not 0. Let's just put it that way.
There you go.
Taking the boots. You can have the ass potion. Oh, we can have double asses.
Great.
Drink it.
All right, so let me drink it, and then I'll get the potion that matters.
Yeah, grab these boots. Or no, you already got boots. Or no, those are my boots. I don't think those do anything for you.
Yeah, I already got boots.
Yeah, those are the regular boots. All right.
Ooh.
All right, that guy fell off. Fee ha ha.
Ooh, careful.
I'm all right.
Oh, I did not. Damn it. Well, whatever. I used my potion accidentally, but that's okay. I used it. Whatever.
You needed, yeah, you needed your health anyway.
Whoa, look at me.
Whoa, look at you.
What's up? Oh,
Hey.
I still get hurt up there. As it turns out.
Oh, it turns out they can still throw stuff at you up there. That is just so funny. Oof. Ouch. Nice.
Step on a fool.
We are doing decidedly better now that we're in filthy casual mode.
Weird.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
What's this guy? Oh, just gold. Ooh, candles.
Oh, I think, yeah. That. It looked like that would do something cooler than it did.
Agreed. What's the name?
Ouch, ouch, ouch!
What's the name of our game here again for people who might just be tuning in?
Oh, this is Rampage Nights. Or, I think?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, that's right.
Remember, you can do your dodge thing. I forgot about that, too.
Oh, yeah.
And you're actually invulnerable when you do the dodge. Ouch! Oh, I'm sorry. Ouch! Ouch! Oh, God! That really hurt.
Oh. All right, how many do you have to get now?
11.
All right, I'll pick that up.
It's okay if we die. Oh, we want to go up here. Go up here.
Oh, we do? All right.
Yeah, we want to go into this place.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And this dude.
Damn it. That takes 10 health.
Yeah, it's a lot.
All right, well, I'm going to try it anyway.
Do you only have 10 left?
I only have 12 left.
Oh, that book looks pretty cool.
Book from the cabin curses enemies. Every hit to them is critical.
Nice. That's pretty good. You also got a big ass thing up here.
Mighty belt, strength +5.
Oh, dude, you're ripping.
Small axe. Let's see, what's this one? I like my mace. Let's go with the mace.
I think it's good for the crit too, right?
Heals for 50 HP, deals random disease. I think I need to have that.
Yeah, you need a disease. Get your disease. Do it. Drink it. Running for.
Oh no. Oh no. I've made a huge mistake. This is not great. This will go well. All right.
Oh, this is so much better than before. Oh, shoot. This is good. So now you know why I like this game.
Oh man.
It's constantly trolling you. You hit pretty hard, though.
Oh, I hit hard.
Nine souls. Keep going.
Damn it.
I almost brought it.
Oh, I forgot. I'm always running.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, oh, oh.
Oh, I'm almost dead.
Okay, 5 souls.
Is there any
Got 5
health
souls.
here anywhere?
Open all these things, kill all this stuff, and you might get some. Oh, an egg. That'll give you HP and a potion.
I gotta. Hold on. I gotta.
Oh Jesus! This is too funny.
What's the murky water do? I don't want that, do I?
No, you don't want that. I think that just gives you straight up disease.
All right.
So let's go up through here. Let's go into the drinking area. Oh no, do not touch that guy.
Okay.
That guy sucks. He's an asshole. Let's go up here. 5 souls. So if you kill all these guys, we'll be good.
Oh wait. No, save me. Hold on.
I'm trying. Where are you?
I went down. Hold on. I've got bombs.
Oh, you. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. Oh, we're back. We're back.
Yeah. Now we're in business. Oh yeah.
All right.
I still am running the whole time. Oh Lord. I'll just sit here and go back and forth while you do that.
Cool. Oh, burns potion and disease. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Drink that shit.
Oh.
But you are drunk now. But I think that's still better than being.
Yes, better than running all of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, level complete.
I smell some coffee being brewed in here.
Oh, jealous.
In the MongoDB glass. For anybody, for anybody that's signing in, if son of a biscuit, pcper.com/SOL. Find all the description for what's going on. pcper.com/SOL contest. Enter your name into the contest. We're going to give away some Logitech accessories here in just a little bit. And if you want to support us, you want to make a small recurring monthly contribution to PC Perspective, you can go to patreon.com/PCper.
Nice.
All right, now
Nice.
beat the crap out of things.
I'll give you some money.
All right.
Yeah.
We should call all the time.
Yeah, right? That's what I do
no.
when I need money. I just call my mom, so.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, you're fine.
You
I just threw all those guys off the cliff.
I think I might be able to do that as a ghost. Yeah. All right.
Oh, nice.
Hold on. Come here.
Ouch.
Oh, he jumped. Watch out.
Nice.
I only need 3 souls left. That's pretty good. Those don't count as souls. Ooh, careful.
Oh!
No!
Immediately.
No! That was a trick.
Jesus.
You never do the chest on the... Oh, okay, this is better.
We have our same items, right?
Oh, thank God we're casuals.
Oh, God. Casual is so much
Oh, man, that was pretty funny, though. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, hey, don't step on the spikes.
Yeah, they hurt. Turns out. Oh, nice. That guy died. I'm gonna try and not kill you. Let's see if I can. Oh, I'm gonna go deal with these guys first.
Yeah, you do that.
Uh oh. Ouch! 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 Ouch!
Oh, I did the same thing. Pelly's playing F1 2015. I bet he's not very good at it.
No, he's probably benchmarking too. Try hard working on Sunday, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Maybe we shouldn't get that chest.
Oh,
Maybe we
man.
should leave it
no,
alone.
that chest, it makes me want that chest.
All
even
right,
more.
all right. Well, oh, no, game over. Oh, wait.
It's okay. We can game over as many
Okay,
times as we
all
want
right.
because we're casual, remember?
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, how we doing on time here? Do we want to?
We got 20 minutes, Ken?
Oh yeah, we got time.
Oh, wait,
Ouch,
I'm gonna
ouch.
try to not hit you off the edge. God, these spikes! They're spiky and I'm drunk.
Yeah, totally.
Look at all those guys over there.
Yeah, they're really chomping at the bit to get out of this here. Oh,
Come on over, buddies.
hey, the big guy got knocked off. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Don't fail. I'm rooting for you.
Oh, yeah, this isn't easy.
Oh, easy. Oh, snap. Taking that. Even though
Scroll of Redemption. Remove all your curses. Yes, thank you.
Wait, so what does this sword do?
I'm still drunk, though.
Whoa, plus 13 damage for every active curse or disease. So I just need to get all the butt diseases I can, I think. You'll be less drunk after the next room, I think.
I can't even walk straight.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I guess that's the point.
Yeah.
That guy's head is still alive.
Oh yeah, the little head guy, he doesn't... Yeah, it's bad. You gotta stomp on it. There we go. And I have a little flame...
I'm not drunk anymore.
Guy. Yeah, let's go up here.
Going up
Goblin wares. Okay, we can buy the goblin wares.
I have $56.
Okay, you probably want...
I hate spikes, and there's definitely boots for spikes.
Oh, that might help, yeah. I don't have that many dollars.
I want a familiar.
Nice. So we can get all the dollars in this room.
Oh, okay.
And then buy stuff. See, like in here, there's lots of dollars.
This looks like a... Yeah.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
Turns out that those blue ones are not that cool.
They explode?
I'm gonna throw the blue one over there.
Oh, you got a little devil guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
What's this thing do? Book from the cabin. I forgot what it did.
I need 1 gold.
There's one right there, isn't it?
Where?
No, that's the price.
Yeah.
That
God
sucks.
damn it, Jim.
Can I
All right.
donate?
I'll get 1 gold later on. It's alright. Okay.
Let's do it.
There's a gold.
You want to go back?
No, it's not yet.
Biscuit.
Whoa, we're doing work.
I think if you're a skeleton and you come out of the ground to fight me, you shouldn't be allowed to have a shield immediately.
Yeah, but then again, nothing in this game is real, so...
What?
I know. It's confusing.
I wish I knew how I was doing that spin people around move. Oh, no.
So you hold up while you're hitting dudes to do the uppercut thing,
Yeah.
and then you hold down to do the spin guy thing.
I like, as a ghost, I still have this familiar, though.
Oh, yeah. That is pretty cool. Oh, yeah, you can kill that. Or, yeah.
Hit that sign. Or a painting.
Okay, I'm gonna go get that thing.
All right.
Spike boots. Actually, I already have boots. I'm gonna get this guy, even though this doesn't anything. It doesn't do me any good because we're always gonna take damage, right?
Yes.
Okay, then. Alright, never mind. Moving on! How's your little daughter doing?
She is doing awesome.
Nice.
8 months old
Cutie
now.
pants.
Thank you. She's 8 months old. Although the heat is out at my house as of the last 2 days, so she's up in Columbus with my wife at her family's house, while me and the dog suffer through the cold. Oh, that's cool. What are you doing?
I'm
Are you summoning that?
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Apparently I can just do that. So how's the heat off? What happened? Is your thermostat broken?
The furnace is busted. I ordered a part, but damn Amazon won't deliver it on a Sunday, so
those lazy guys.
dare they.
Oh, so apparently I do more damage because I'm poisoned.
Ah, I see.
That's cool. So did you watch the Shanghai Major?
I did not.
Oh, it was
Did you watch the Republican presidential debate? Come on, let's get real here.
so let's be honest. It's frightening.
It is very scary. It's very
I
scary.
can't tell if
2 souls left.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
So,
All right, let's give away some stuff.
okay.
PCPer.com/SOL contest. I'm going to draw some winners here. Chances are it's already too late for you if you haven't entered. And you can't win, Andrew. I'm sorry.
Really? Dang it.
I know.
So what is the contest?
The contest is you basically enter into a field and it's just kind of a random draw.
Okay.
Right.
How many people have entered?
4,600.
Okay. That's quite a bit.
Yeah. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
4,624 to be perfectly accurate. So I'm going to go into this system here and hit this button. So it picks a winner. No, hold on. Wrong button. I can't believe you couldn't get UT 2004 to work. I was really looking forward to playing this.
Dude, yeah, Instagib would have been really fun, actually. But,
All right, we have our winner of a Logitech G502 mouse, a G810 keyboard, and what was it, G640 mouse pad / mouse mat. It is Chuck M from Northport, Florida.
Chuck M. I'm going to assume that the M stands for muscles because people named Chuck are usually buff.
Oh, connection to host lost. What happened?
Well, I quit.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should revoke this guy's win because the entry that he had with the answer to a question was why are you tuning in today? And his answer was Tom from NVIDIA.
Ooh,
What
that is
segment
always the
are you
wrong
most
answer.
interested in? Yeah, I mean, you can't win like that. I mean,
Always the wrong answer, Chuck Muscles.
That
and
is-
it sounds like M is actually mom. So you're Chuck Mom, I think, is really what your M
it's
stands
Chuck's
for.
mother, is what you're telling me at this.
Chuck's mom. Okay,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, that was good.
Local. All right. So, Rampage Nights.
Rampage Nights, super fun. Although you really need to try Nuclear Throne, because that game is super fun also.
All right. How much time do we got, Ken? 10 minutes? 15 minutes? 10 minutes? Let's jump into a quick game of Rocket League.
Okay.
Let's start
Sure.
Start that up. Ooh, I got a controller. I could try to play it on a controller.
I personally like it much better on the controller.
Do you? I have yet
Yeah.
to play it on that.
How do you what?
I have yet to play it on that.
Oh, I thought you said, how do you play it on that? And I was going to say, well,
You drive.
first you take the controller and you insert it into your hands.
All right, I'm going to send you an invite.
Okay.
I sent an invite.
Okay.
Actually, here, let's do this. I'll go into. How did I do that incorrectly? Where I did a private match. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a private match. The name is PCPer and the password is SOL.
Wait, I can just join on you, I think.
I think that'll work. If it doesn't work, when I hit create here, go into join private match, name PCPer, password SOL. Okay.
My Rocket League is having serious trouble right now.
What's it doing?
It's searching. It's also playing some serious house music.
Oh yeah, it does that.
It says joining.
Okay. I'm going to join blue because I'm American. I don't know what that means. It says Andy Zoom reserved. Come on in.
Are we together?
No, you're not in yet.
Hold on a sec.
Click join private match. Oh no.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on. There we go.
You in?
Join private match.
Yes. PC per SOL.
Wait, no, it thinks that I'm in your. Hold on a sec. Hold on a tick.
Okay. All right.
It's pooping its pants. Let me fix this. Hold on.
Guys, Arbiter's not on my team.
So did Chuck Muscles win?
I don't know. How do I drive?
Right trigger.
Yeah. Oh wait, I got these weird bottom triggers.
I don't think those do anything for you.
Yeah, they make me jump and spin and turbo. And
For some
switch
reason, I
ball
think
cam.
Rocket League is really having a hard time. Let's see here.
There we go. Right bumper. That's weird. I can't do it. Mouse and keyboard in it.
Okay. It's doing some serious lagging here. It seems like might be a Skype thing.
Really?
I'm not sure.
What's it saying? Is it trying to join my match and it won't let you?
No, it's the game is freaking out. It's like every second and a half it's twitching, and it's taking a really long time for anything to happen in the menus. It's really strange. I've never seen this before.
Some will say maybe you've never seen it again.
Yeah, maybe. Oh, here we go. Okay, what's the private match there, Brad?
PC per name, SOL, password.
PC per SOL.
Yep. PC
Okay.
per username or name, SOL, password.
Oh, I see.
See what it says about. It might be full now that I set it on the stream.
Yeah, right. Game is full.
Damn it.
Internet 1, Andy Zoom 0.
Typical, huh?
Yeah. So now I'm not lagging.
Of course you're not.
I know.
Let's see. Commando Kodiak said he's going to exit real fast so you can play a match.
Okay, Commando Kodiak. Thank you for joining in the first place.
So just try to sign in.
Okay, hold on. God damn it.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I have a feeling this is not gonna. This is not gonna work.
I like this map. It like gets
Okay, hold on.
It gets rainy and then it gets slippery.
Yeah, my Rocket League is seriously pooping itself right now. I'm not sure what's going on.
We didn't have anybody on earlier today, Ken, with both this and Skype, did we? It's possible that's some kind of weird hiccup.
Because you're not using Skype, right? On that machine.
Not on this machine, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to say.
All right.
I think it might be this little. Maybe let's try that. I had that stupid little Skype preview thing open. That might have been doing it actually.
Yeah. If you want to close your Skype video or something, you can probably do that. But
Nope, that was it.
oh, was it really?
Yep. No, that wasn't it. It's still doing it. Sweet mother of mercy.
It's all right. It's all right. We'll be all right. What happens after this, Ken? What's next on our schedule? Ooh, Ryan gets to eat schedule.
Sebastian finally finishes this damn table.
Nice.
Oh, I'm joining now. It
Oh,
worked.
are you? Oh, good. We got a minute and 58 seconds left.
Hey, that's fine.
They don't call him Mr. Clutch for nothing.
People in the chat think maybe you need more RAM.
Yeah.
Maybe you need a
that's
better
probably
system, loser.
That's probably it.
Gosh.
I'm using an HD 4970, I think, is the GPU I have. I have 4 gigs of DDR2 and a Core 2 Duo, clocked at 2.4.
Ooh, gosh. You must have overclocked that baby.
And you know what else? I have a 7200 RPM Raptor drive.
Whoa.
It has 80 gigs, too.
80 gigabytes.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's crazy, huh?
Are you actually in
Yeah.
this now?
I'm in the game, but my Rocket League is absolutely, completely fucked.
All right.
Absolutely and entirely.
Well, that's all right. We got a
the
minute
weeds.
27 left. How about we let you go? You can go.
Okay, no
you
problem.
can go do your
No problem.
day. Do what you do on Sundays. I don't know what that is. I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to judge. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for introducing me to Rampage Nights.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for having me on the show.
And thanks for
good luck
Logitech
with
for donating those the prizes. I'm sure that was all you.
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure Wendy had nothing to do with it. So
Hold on, there's a G.
come on, get the logo in there.
Anyway, mirrors are hard. How do they work?
Even worse, you got a virtual mirror.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, thank you very much, brother.
All right, man.
And thank you to your staff. I'll see you later.
All right, bud. See you soon.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, guys. I'm going to finish out this match where I'm getting destroyed because Arbiter decided to join the wrong team. Oh. And then we're gonna do what? We're gonna conclude our table PC. Maybe get Alan in. Where's Alan at? Okay. Alan to help riff off of so Ryan can eat in that 30-minute span. I don't want my sandwich to get soggy, if you know what I mean. I had seen Rampage nights before, but I don't remember where now. Because as soon as I saw the lock-picking mechanism, Ken, I knew I had not played it, but watched it play.
Yeah, I like it's really fun.
I'm gonna guess Giant Bomb.
Probably.
I'm gonna guess that's where I've seen it.
Had to take a guess.
Yeah.
That probably would be it.
Ah! No! Damn it. It's not as fun when it's on the other side. When I'm on the other side, guys. Yeah. Move on. 4 seconds. Good timing here. Well, that was sad.
It's usually your gaming experience.
Ken, I got a Royal Crown at least. And not the alcohol, which would be more useful now. As Crown Royal. Okay, so that's going to wrap up our Coonrad gaming session with our Logitech giveaways. We're going to now shift over to Sebastian, who is putting final touches on his table PC, I think. We're going to have you kind of like talk through what your build process was like. Maybe
some of the
positives, negatives.
Yeah.
Would you ever do this in your real life?
Absolutely,
On
yeah.
purpose?
If Leanne Lee wants to send me one of these to my home, I will happily build and use it. Actually, I've been interested in these table PCs for a while, basically since I discovered they existed. I had a chance to look at one of the new ones at CES, and I've seen a few of the other Leanne Lee designs online. And one of the interesting things to me about this design is, and the new one that I saw this year, they are not using this massive pull-out drawer design that I had seen in the past. And I know there were some stability or tipping issues with some of those. The last two that I've seen, including this one, use a large pane of tempered glass that you just set down over the top. You complete your build from the top down. And as you can see with this one, actually, the entire system is installed onto this removable panel. It's more than just a motherboard tray. It's the entire system is laid out nicely on this flat surface here. And then when you're done attaching things and routing your cables behind the tray, you can then put it back inside the table with 4 thumb screws. And this was incredibly convenient. This was probably the easiest system I've ever built in, just because I wasn't really building inside of anything. So you kind of lay out your components the way you want them. It looks very clean. I did a minimal amount of cable routing just with some of the big openings that are on here. And there is very little cable mess. Like, I could do a better job of tucking some of these things away. There are some routing options on the bottom, including some clips that have double-sided tape. You can mount them wherever you want. It came with 4 extra clips on top of the one that's already over here on one side. As you can see, this is just kind of a mess here. You're not really going to see anything when it's down on the table. But you could, zip tie some things out of the way, route stuff a lot more neatly, and get it organized just the way you want it, and then plop this down into the table. And actually, these 2 little handles on the side help out quite a bit, although it's very back heavy with all the components installed. So the front I/O is even contained on this panel. So once you get it kind of down in place, line it up with the holes, it's that simple. I just have 4 thumb screws to attach, 2 on each side, and I've got my front I/O in place. This lined up well. There's an optional spot here for an RGB controller. They give you separate knobs for the red, green, and blue controls. So if you have the interior lighting, you can change how that looks from the outside of the case, which is nice, and then it really does look cool. I've seen these set up that way, and because it's a tempered glass top, it's tinted, but you can still see quite a bit of the interior of the system, and it looks really cool. You can change the color effects if you're into that. I know that some people have had enough of RGB already, but this system, and I'll tip this back up because it's impossible to see, is a really powerful system. Like, you have room for a lot of storage. Like, when I was kind of looking this over, you've got a row here for hard drives that can just be surface mounted, and they just kind of slide in place. You put these rubber kind of, I don't know if I'd call them bumpers or...
Kind of like grommets.
Yeah, grommets, and you just slide them down in and they lock into place. I've seen this on Lian Li cases before, like the really compact cube style cases use this on the inside of the door. And there was like an optional cage you can use to stack multiple drives because you have space. You've got 4 expansion slots worth of height you're dealing with here. You have about 100 millimeters of clearance, I'd say. A little bit less than 120 millimeter fan. But
yeah, you could totally go crazy with hard drives in there.
Yeah. Now, one thing I'm not sure about is SLI support. This is a huge video card. It's still only a dual slot. It might extend a little bit beyond dual slot. Yeah, it does. It's like a 2.25 slot. But the ribbon cable it comes with and the PCIe bracket, there's only one. But it seems like it would easily support more than one if you got another one of these brackets, because there's a riser here that would allow you to install up to 4 of these. So if you had some sort of single slot solution, you were trying to use multiple cards if you're just using like the onboard graphics and you had other needs, or if you wanted to do an SLI or a Crossfire, you could, as long as you got another one of these ribbon cables. And I need to look into that and see if Lian Li is selling these separately, how much they cost. As far as cooling goes, the one thing I haven't done with this build besides get a SATA cable for the hard drive is add a cooler. I already have the backplate installed for a Corsair water cooler. And if you look at the back, you can see that I actually did this after the build was done. There's a big opening here, and you can install your bracket after the fact, which was nice. I didn't have to disassemble the whole thing to do that. The enclosure comes with no less than 8 120 millimeter fans. So there's going to be no shortage of airflow depending on what kind of speed these are going at. I haven't found that out yet. But the other issue with those fans, of course, is going to be noise. These are not attached to any kind of a fan controller. There is a little 4-pack of Molex fan power adapters that will allow you to power these without having to worry about motherboard headers, at least on one side. But with 8 fans, it would be nice to see a fan controller. Of course, you could add a fan controller.
They might just be really low-speed fans.
Yeah, if they're low-speed fans, then it's not going to be an issue. If they're like 600, 800 RPM quiet fans, it's going to be very quiet. It really depends on the needs of the user, though. If you're personally selecting very quiet components, you can, of course, add whatever fans you want. You can even take these fans out. I would recommend at least a pair of them for airflow, since one side draws in and the other side is pushing out. And it's kind of clever how they did that too. I was assuming it was just going to be a big opening on each side, and it is, unless you install the side panels, which not only add with stability, there are these 2 kind of hollow panels here, but on the underside of these panels is a screen filter. So that screen filter removes with 2 screws, it can be cleaned, and it kind of helps direct the airflow and keep your system cool. So once I have this done and I put the top back down on it, there's really not going to be much of a vector for dust entry. There's a little bit of there's a pad on each corner, which actually feels pretty sturdy. It's like a rubbery, like, I don't know, $50 size pad, and it doesn't lift the glass up that much. I don't think you're really going to have any kind of dust entry issue underneath that. So let me finish up this build here with the cooler, and that, of course, if I'm using a dual width cooler like we are, we're using a Corsair. It's an H100 IGTX. This is a 240 millimeter, standard all-in-one liquid cooler. And of course, that means I need to attach this to fan mounts somewhere. So I could borrow some of the existing fans, do kind of like a push-pull thing, I could just pull off a couple of the fans. What I think I'm going to end up doing, depending on clearance. Let's see here. This isn't the longest pair of hoses on this cooler. And I don't know. Actually, the back, these are just blanks. So it looks like the back is an option as well, which would definitely be serviceable. It really depends. I would rather have all the filters in place. So I'm just going to remove a couple of these fans on one side and get it mounted over there. All these fans have a wire guard on the inside too. So as you're reaching around in here, if you happen to be doing it while the system was running, you're not going to cut your finger or anything. And actually, another thing I was going to point out, I was kind of worried because the what is this? A Seasonic power supply, just kind of a standard modular power supply, 650 watts. Comes with flat cables, and I wasn't expecting them to necessarily be long enough. They were plenty long enough because it's a straight shot down to the GPU. I had more than enough length. So cable management was very simple, and if you're using flat cables like this, it made it painless. I really didn't even need to do any routing because they could still sit flat. You in the chat, Alan?
I am.
Just going to pull that up here. Any questions or anything?
If you spill Mountain Dew, will the system taste the dew? Well, it looks like the glass goes across the whole top. So
yeah, let me move this stuff out of the way.
I mean, some of it might wick between the glass and like the tabletop. But you got the screws.
I guess there's enough surface area that I wonder, like...
Sebastian.
What?
Screws are still on it.
Oh, good call.
Yeah.
I'll move those right down here. Otherwise, we'd have some very scratched up glass. So this is a pretty big...
Yeah, it covers the whole surface of the
panel.
table.
Right, edge to edge. There's even a slight overlap, actually.
Yeah.
Very slight. It's like maybe a millimeter.
So I mean,
unless I'm imagining things, it's flush.
So if you spill a drink, some of the drips might wrap around the glass and kind of like roll under it. There's a chance, but it's not going to be.
There's still a sizable lip.
Yeah.
Around the majority of the desk. On your side of the desk, like out here, there's maybe like a 2-inch lip. On the sides, it goes out to about 4, and that extends to the front. So even if you spilled a drink like right here and your monitor's back here and you're typing, you reach over, you spill your drink, it goes all the way
you're gonna have
around.
You're gonna have to pick the glass up.
Yeah.
And to clean stuff.
If you got your monitor and keyboard off real quick and just tipped it back, I think you'd be fine.
Pour right on the carpet.
You'd pour on the carpet, but it's better than your valuable system. What's the carpet cost?
Yeah.
Who would spill a drink?
Probably more than the system, actually.
Yeah, people spill drinks all the time.
No, they don't.
Right, Sebastian?
People spill red, sticky pop on carpets all the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely not happened in the last hour.
No.
I will say the convenience factor, like I used to think it was really convenient sounding to have a desk PC where you built the PC in a drawer and then you slid the drawer in and you were looking at it through the glass and that was cool. It's a little disruptive to have to take the glass off to work on the system. It depends on what kind of desk you keep. Like if my desk is just a display, keyboard and mouse and I'm super minimal about it, then no big deal. You move the monitor off to the side, you grab your keyboard and mouse, and you get into the system, but...
I think, someone's asking if a monitor and keyboard could be supported on there. Obviously, yes. It's like very thick glass.
I'm sure they have a weight rating, and I want to say from talking to Leanne Lee at CES, it was something like 65 pounds for their tempered glass panels.
So my only concern, though, is like, that seems kind of awfully high for a keyboard. You have to be used to having a keyboard on the same surface as your...
Yeah.
Like I usually have a keyboard in a drawer, and that's, so you either need your chair higher, to just...
That's a good point, because obviously this is a desk, so people are, have needs as far as comfort with your desk.
Yeah.
So the height of this is not adjustable beyond the limitations of these adjustable feet. So, I mean, they're adjustable, 2 inches or so, and that's great for, like, leveling the table off. You can get this perfectly level.
I mean, if you had
threaded feet that are on.
If you were sitting at that and you had your arms, like parallel to the ground, out from in front of you, chances are like the thickness of that table is just the thickness between the bottom of like your elbow and the top of your lap. So you're pretty much, if you're sitting tucked in on that desk, right, like your lap is going to be just under the PC that's in it, and then your arms are going to be just above.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty thick.
Yeah.
So this is an example of, like, their previous designs that I'd seen that had the pull-out drawer. This would have been the drawer right here, so that would explain the thickness.
Right.
Obviously, the thickness is explained by the fact that you need depth for the system inside. If this were built around like a thin mini ITX profile, you only need like 1.5 inches or so, 2 inches for those systems. But you can fit a serious gaming PC in here. You need a little bit more space. That means you're going to need a little bit lower chair, depending on your knees, like where the comfort of that is. I'd have to be sitting down pretty low.
Yeah.
To get my legs completely under this desk. And at that point, because of the space, now you're reaching up a little bit to get to your keyboard. So it's a valid concern. Like, that's the one thing I obviously haven't tested. How comfortable would it be to sit at this throughout the day? I personally stand a lot, so this is kind of pushing the limits of how low I'd want my keyboard, but it isn't actually that bad from an ergonomic standpoint, but I'm 6'1".
Right.
They announced a standing desk version at CES, didn't they?
Yep, they did. I actually looked at it, and it's very much like the IKEA convertible desk, where it mechanically went up and down. You had different
Oh, you mean that one?
That one right there?
Yeah, that one. That one right there that Alan isn't catching on to.
Now, that's the electric one or the crank?
That's the electric one.
Electric one?
Yeah.
I don't think it's plugged in, though.
It is.
Oh.
So, yeah, so it worked the same way. There's this, like, push-button control on one side of it, and that one had the same, like, weight rating, too. It was, like, 60, 65 pounds. So something like that would give you a lot more flexibility. This is going to cost considerably less. I didn't get a specific price out of Leon Lee on their convertible desk. They just said, you know, it will be a lot more, and they kind of indicated about $500 more, which...
That's a bit expensive.
It is expensive, and it kind of makes sense when you're thinking about something of that size that can support that much weight, but compare this IKEA convertible desk, like the standing desk, to a regular desk, like where you literally go to IKEA, you buy whatever feet you want, and you pick out the desktop platform.
Yeah.
You can put together a desk for $80 to $120.
My only concern with that desk, like as far as it carrying weight, is like I don't think the front is an issue, because there's that, you know, you have support, and it's a solid piece, even if it's thin aluminum going right across the front. That's going to stop.
And really, I guess,
you know,
now I think about it, this
but the rear
is probably the front.
Yeah, that's the front. So the rear has an opening in it, and even while you were doing the build and you were kind of leaning on that material, on that aluminum.
It is a little thin.
You could see it bowing, right? So the glass is going to flex a little bit from the weight of your display. And like a lot of, you know, computer desks just have glass, like tempered glass tops like that. They'll have some sort of like third, like if it has a row of suction cups along a bar or something.
Yeah, very often there's one more like here and here.
There'll be something holding it in the center, and that'll kind of help support it. That does not have that. You're suspended from the two far corners, basically, with a thin piece of aluminum that's not really going to support the glass.
I don't know if it is just that, because it's aluminum, but then the way that it's constructed, it's not just... I think it's sitting on another piece.
Yeah, but see how much that, like...
It does flex quite a bit.
You can see it flexing so much.
But then you can feel it
it bottoms?
meet somewhere, and it bottoms out. It doesn't go any further.
Huh.
It's hitting the, like these front panels. It's almost like a C shape.
Yeah.
Where you do meet something. Like the aluminum construction itself, and this is an optional piece here that allows you to like hang headphones or other things on the side.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And you like find a spot for it, and there are these little screw holes, and it comes with extra screws, and you can screw it in and mount it off to the side.
Yeah.
But this kind of construction is how these these panels are too, where it also has a top. So
it's pretty beefy.
Yeah, it does sag a little bit, but once it hits this, it doesn't move anymore. So it didn't. I mean, I feel like I could lean on this.
I mean,
I don't know if I would stand on the top of it.
No, see, it's like I will give it this. Like the weight at the corners, like with those, you know, with that type of construction for the legs, and the legs go straight up to the part that supports the glass, right? That just kind of like it runs along the case. So
you know what? There are the one part of this that I didn't see. On the motherboard tray, there are actually these two posts.
Yeah.
They look like just solid metal.
Oh, you think the tray might support the center of the glass?
I think so. And I need to look. I didn't see specifically. There might be another pair of cushions, because if this...
That would be interesting.
Because if you look here...
Yeah.
You've got these two metal posts.
Oh.
So if... There's a little bit of a gap between them and the glass, though, but if there's another part that goes against this and they're sandwiched between the glass, like, you could always fashion something, I guess, to go in between those, but...
Yeah.
I didn't understand the point of those posts, but maybe it is for...
or even if there was some way...
strengthening.
Like, you can see the back there a lot easier than I can, but that gap that's letting you flex the rear of it, the center rear, like, if you could take that slack up with something, you know, then it'd probably be, like, much better at keeping the glass flat with the monitor on it.
I don't see anything about that in the manual.
Now, that said, like, a lot of LED LCD monitors are not that heavy. So...
Oh, yeah. I know.
My only concern is that all of that weight is just focused on the center.
I was going to say, the heaviest monitor I can think of is going to be like an all-in-one computer, and of course you're not going to be using that when you're building a system underneath your desk. So if you're using a standard
if you need
panel that's like 20 pounds, that's going to be fine.
Let's see here. I do like how that the front panel connector is just like... It just looks,
once you slide it in.
Once you slide it in, it looks like it's not even a separable thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just such a good fit in the front there.
Oh, I think this is really slick. Like, I like these desk designs. I think you brought up a valid point about, like, comfort and how comfortable
just
you are with how
thickness.
high the keyboard will be.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are probably solutions to that, but nothing that's included, obviously. There's no, like, front tray for your keyboard. That would be an option.
I don't know if that chair goes low enough to even try.
No, that one, these don't go quite low enough to try. You would need a pretty low desk chair.
And
my old office chair does go low enough where I could get underneath this, but then, like you said,
And if your desk chair has, like, armrests, they might also hit.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to consider that also. We have a tape measure somewhere. We could...
Oh yeah,
what it is from like the floor to the bottom. For people that are like hovering over a buy it now button on this thing, and
well, you know, it's an impulse buy.
Yeah, it's
how much is
an
it?
Impulse buy.
Oh, okay. You should look it up. It's
Yeah, actually, we should look it up.
So that was like 26 inches.
Alan, your job is to look up the price of this table.
What's the?
Where did I put the
DK Q2? Okay.
It's the Donkey Kong Q2X.
Kong does not start with the Q. Oh wait, nope, I had it wrong.
DK.
And
Donkey Kong.
My fault.
And Ryan fumbles.
So you have 26 inches now. These 26 inches, but these are adjustable feet.
This thing is
Wants me to stand on the table.
$1,250 on Amazon.
It's $1,000.
$1,250?
It's $1,000 on B&H.
Okay. So $1,000. This is, well, a lot of that is the construction. Like, they could do this a lot more cheaply out of steel.
Yeah.
But it would be a lot heavier.
It's true.
It
I mean,
does
it is a nice
feel
looking
pretty
table.
like when I was first putting it together, when I just attached these top screws for the legs, it was kind of wobbling around. But there were 2 internal screws for each leg, and then these braces on the sides. And once I got it done, it was like rock solid.
Yeah.
So, especially when the glass is on top of it, it's heavy enough that it just doesn't feel like it wants to move around at all. And you have these nice threaded feet. They have like a rubber base. So they're not going to scoot around. You can precisely adjust the height with these and kind of
Level the table.
level them all off. And
Yeah.
you can adjust the height a little bit. I think it goes plus minus 2 or plus minus 3 inches with the feet. And then 26 inches, so then it's 32 inches to the top with the glass.
That's standard table height.
Yeah.
So,
It was just shy of 32, so I'm sure with the glass it would be 32.
yeah.
Almost exactly.
Yeah, so the height overall is, you know, what you would expect, but just that thickness is the thing that might catch you off guard.
Just about 32, just a little bit under 32.
So you're looking at, what is that, 6 inches thickness? Is that what that works out to?
Yep. So you got 6 inches between the tops of your knees and where you would be typing. That's not bad.
No, but it's just like if you're one of those ergonomic, you know,
Yeah, this is not necessarily the desk for you if you're looking for like ergonomic furniture, and that stuff is very specifically designed for that purpose and has adjustable separate keyboards, stands, possibly even a floating mouse platform. Sometimes it's like a keyboard/mouse platform. I'm not sure about compatibility with like any kind of mounts for like mounting a monitor arm or something on it, but you could probably do something because these back panels come out. They're separate pieces, and you'd have access to like clamp onto the back. But it's just a desktop. The system, it's very, very sharp looking when you're actually looking down into this and see your completed system inside.
Ken, you still got that other camera set up or no?
There's a camera pointed down on it right now. It's kind of hard to see.
Yeah.
To which camera are you referring?
That's what we're talking about, that one.
As far as like routing your stuff out cleanly,
there's a gap in the upper part of the rear.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't really even see cables if you tucked them in here. You could have your monitor cable and.
Yeah, you just wrap around the back.
And really, you could plug. I guess you could plug your keyboard and mouse into the front. That would look kind of ugly, though.
No, you'd probably have them running.
Yeah.
Actually, the ports being on the. Well, I guess you could just put. The ports being on the front is kind of
stupid. There's a straight shot from the motherboard I/O out one of these back openings.
Yeah.
So with the glass moved off to the side, you could like plug in things and then route the cable out.
Yeah, the front panel stuff is just for like thumb drives and crap.
Yeah.
Although it does have audio jacks.
It's the front panel of any case.
Yeah.
It's a little bit nicer because you've got dual,
dual USB 3.
Yeah.
Or, well, quad, technically.
Right.
2 pairs of USB 3. So if you want to use all that, your motherboard has to have a pair of USB 3 headers.
I would say if you're putting the price into perspective a little bit, at about $1,000, you look at really high-end aluminum cases. Look at Lian Li's really high-end full tower cases. You're going to be spending $400 to $800 on a high-end full tower aluminum chassis. So if you're already kind of looking into the $400 to $500 range, to go to $1,000 and you're not only getting a big aluminum case, but it's also a desk. If you're okay with the height of the desk, it's a pretty interesting option. I don't know if it's for many people. I don't think they probably produce a lot of these either. So.
Yeah, I would think not.
I'm guessing that's 1/4 inch thick glass from the looks of it.
It looks like it, yeah.
It's pretty thick glass.
I think the most important question to take from this is...
Can Ryan stand on it?
Did somebody eat my potato chips?
No.
From lunch?
Did you have the jalapeno ones?
I had Thinny chips. Thinny.
No. All I saw was...
There was more than one bag.
Yeah, I saw jalapeno.
Were there more than
ones
2 bags, though?
I don't think so.
Because he had jalapeno.
You can have my regular
You had
ones.
regular.
Ryan, do you want some Doritos? I have a bag.
No, I had a bagel instead of potato chips.
Carbs.
So, carbs is carbs, yo. So...
Hey. Switch the camera thing.
Are we pretty much settled then on our table?
I haven't turned it on or anything yet, but we saw how
we
it
might
goes
try
together.
that later.
Yeah.
With the lights and stuff on it. I think it'll... I mean, obviously a lot of the appeal of this is being able to see your system.
Yes.
Right? So putting LED light strips in it, having graphics cards that have LEDs, motherboards that have LEDs, that definitely adds to its appeal for sure. All other discussions being, irrelevant or relevant, debating on it.
What's next, boss?
Well, here in about 5 minutes, we're going to call our buddy David Hewlett.
All right, cool.
And we're going to have a conversation about something.
Something.
Do you know what that thing is?
No,
I'm going to walk in front of the camera again. This is
fine.
very professional.
Something internet related.
I meant when I did that, it was when I had to put where he was from. Like, I had Jacob from EVGA and Ben from
Computer
Polygon, and I put David Hewlett from the internet because as you do. Obviously, people know him for Stargate stuff, but I guess it's not active. He's probably not actively starring in Stargate anymore. Right?
No, that show is no longer a thing.
Yeah,
Wait,
as it turns out. So we'll give him a couple minutes here, so we call at the scheduled appropriate time.
David Hewlett, noted thespian.
Right, that's what I should have put on there. You are correct. So I will type up a tweet here to announce that. Do you have anything coming up in the chat room or anything worth?
Nothing crazy.
Worth
Although
noting.
half of them seem to be surprised that we're having an actual actor on our stream.
What?
David Hewlett's been on our podcast like multiple times.
It's true.
Yes.
At least 2 times.
I'm sure
It's been a number of years.
Josh is
hasn't
going
it?
to be very disappointed that he's not here.
I think the first time he was on was right when I started listening to the podcast.
Yeah. He's been on in the last year, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was.
So. Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about his movie that he directed.
Right. Okay.
Don't call it Star Trek.
Star Wars?
Don't call it that either.
No, Battlestar Galactica.
Don't call it that either.
What else is there?
New IP.
What? No IP? No one wants that.
Yeah, I agree. Dark Cinders is right. Who ate Ryan's chips is really the important thing from today's show.
That is.
I think I have jalapeno breath if you want to verify.
The question is were there 2 bags of chips or 3 bags of chips?
I don't know.
Right? And that's really what it comes down to. Because I know what chips you ate, and I know what chips you have
haven't
on
even
your
opened them
desk.
yet, yeah.
I know. When you're going through stuff, mute your microphone when you're rustling through
fine.
paper.
Yeah.
When you're eating chips.
I wanted to eat them on the stream while
just
we
wanna-
play Risk.
We're just playing Risk.
You can't play Risk without potato chips. It's not allowed.
I will also note at the end of David Hewlett's interview, we will be at the halfway point of the stream already,
Awesome.
which is pretty good, actually.
I'm starting to hit that wall.
Nah,
I'm waiting for the second wind.
Well, there's a Taster's Choice over there. You want to get some coffee?
Is it Folgers?
It's Taster's Choice.
Maybe.
It's better than
Now, if you
Folgers.
sit here, you're welcome to sit here and join us, but you won't be able to hear him.
No. Technology.
I don't have to sit here.
Oh, yeah. I gotta plug these in.
Yeah, that's true too.
Technology.
Technology.
Does he need an extension?
Where's
there already was one.
where's my thing, Ken?
Oh, I put those over there.
Under there somewhere.
It's under here somewhere.
Oh wait, is this it?
Is that the
Wait,
one you just throw over
that's
for
not
me, or
it.
is this his?
Oh wait, yeah, there it is.
It
Oh,
doesn't really matter, as
no.
it turns out. Actually,
sorry, chat. I grabbed.
Yes, our wits. For those of you that just joined us, that was the Lian Li DKQ2X desk that Sebastian went through the entire construction and build process on. You missed it on the stream, but don't worry. Every hour of the show will be posted on our YouTube channel sometime this week.
And we will make them available for download as large format uncompressed MKV files as well.
4K RAW. We're going to upsample it to 4K.
That's creepy. I heard Sebastian in my ear amplified and in that same ear.
Well,
Yeah, I've got it too, but it's fine.
That's okay.
It's not delayed or anything, so it's just fine.
I just
now
wasn't,
you don't.
I just wasn't ready.
Oh, now we don't apparently.
Wasn't ready for double the Sebastian.
No one ever.
I want somebody to take
Whenever it is.
photos like this of me to put on
It's
my
a pretty awesome photo right there.
headshots, right? Like,
To be fair, you got that one headshot I took of you
that just-
sitting right there.
Is that just his website?
oh, right here, yes. No, this is on blaster.com. I don't know.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is. Right?
But it's just a press photo of him
It's not a press photo, it's a headshot. It's
Headshot
like one that he commissioned.
that goes out to.
Right? Yeah.
But it probably went to a site that was just writing about something.
It's probably one that his publicist gives out when people say, hey, we need a photo of David for this thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like when people come to my publicist
You can go to his Twitter.
to ask
He's got
for
like
pictures.
his Stargate
Anyone who
SG-1 action figure photo as his background on his Twitter.
Ooh, look at that. We do have our mystery object being printed.
Something's on the printer. I better pay attention to the chat because people are going to start guessing.
It doesn't matter. We don't have to confirm if they're right.
That's
In
true.
fact, we shouldn't confirm if they're right. That-
Was there nothing? We're not doing anything.
Well, I'm brewing
related to
some
the
matcha,
person
so-
that guesses it. Just
no,
like
no. There'd be no
just-
way for us to tell.
just figure it out.
There'd be no way for us to tell.
3 printing orange juice.
Ooh.
That'd be a weird.
It's
orange
an
juice
orange that
container.
you then compress.
Oh yeah, and then
becomes
squeeze
orange.
it.
Squeeze it.
You just
It's
slice
a
it.
juicer.
3D printed orange slices.
You know, there are 3D printed foods now. Like you can get edible 3D.
Yes, I have seen them.
Yeah.
Oh, edibles.
Just get like a orange flavored, what is that called, filament?
Yeah.
And they also 3D print the fake fruit that you put in the bowl on your kitchen counter.
All right, Ken,
You
we
can't eat that.
look ready?
Well, you can.
Is he online?
Do we ever look ready?
No.
Yeah, he's online.
Let's give him a call,
Okay.
He's on the line.
so to speak.
On the telephone? Or Skype?
ISTN.
None of those.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Just like so little latency on those.
Ryan, sir. Oh,
Hey.
look at all of you guys there.
Yeah, we figured the camera was already in the wide angle, so why not just do it all?
And that's
Well,
the
I
only
messed with
reason.
it.
It's literally
Hey,
the
Ken,
only reason.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, I'll work on it.
I have literally
wait.
dragged myself out of bed for this.
You know what? You know what? You have the thing that my wife and I have had for the past like 5 days. And
A
we're just
Minecraft
getting over it. No, the flu.
Yes, a
has-
sweaty Minecraft sweat.
He has the flu, and he is still streaming for us.
I appreciate that. That's
I have a streaming flu, basically.
Yes.
yeah.
And we're all gonna get it.
Yeah, I've been getting a little of that.
Why don't you guys go like back off a little bit? I've got an 8-month-old. I
The
don't.
wide angle is only so wide.
Yeah. Yeah.
How far away can you
We're,
get?
we're dropping Canadian
Uh-oh.
packets.
We dropped the
Oh,
Canadian
no.
packets. Oh
Do the
no.
Canadian packets have the flu?
Apparently.
He infected his packets,
We'll give him a call. Give him a second here.
and
We'll call him back.
they got dropped at the antivirus on the router.
I'm in another page of my rundown.
We may,
That's a
since the
deep
poor
packet
man is
inspection.
sick, we may shorten his his segment some if he feels bad, and we'll go into something else like
Something freestyle.
Sebastian does handstands, or
No, that's later.
that's after the beer
That's at
gets,
7.
gets dropped out. Yeah, yeah.
Fails at handstands, which is even more entertaining.
All right. Any luck?
It's trying to get him back.
It's trying to get it back.
What happens if two people dial each other? at the
Like
same
I don't know, like
time?
the telephone issue you have on cell phones.
Yeah.
I don't
Where you both get each other's voicemails.
think.
Does it just connect you?
I bet
think
it
it
doesn't.
does.
I bet it doesn't. I bet it's not smart enough.
That'd be interesting to know.
I bet it's not smart enough.
Hey,
Somebody's
have you done
probably
a
tried
PC build for Emma yet?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
I don't even let her use my phone. 'Cause
I
she's got
can't.
slobbery hands.
I can't let Julian use my phone
Yeah.
because the first thing he does is just shoves it as far into his
yeah.
mouth as he can, and it comes out just covered.
Yeah. It turns
And
out all babies want to
spit.
do is eat everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. That was
I'll give
all I
him-
had for you.
That was
I'll give him one of my old
Thanks.
Lumia phones.
And now no video.
It's an interesting shade of green we got going.
Yeah. He's you know,
Let me have a look here.
there's gonna be
Yeah. I'm looking good so far, except that nothing. There you go. Try. Well, look at that.
there he goes.
Perfect.
You know, but I think the interesting shade of green was probably better.
A very certain shade of green.
So you got the flu today?
Yeah, just for you. I want to make sure this was an event.
I swear I didn't send it to you as like a welcoming gift to be on the stream.
That'd be
so.
international
Last time Hewlett was seen
biological.
alive. Basically.
PC per live stream.
Well, I greatly, even more so, appreciate you making the time and the effort to drag yourself out of bed to be on our stream.
No, I wanted to be. I don't want to miss this. My wife was like, "No, you're too sick." I'm like, "No, I'm too much of a geek."
Well, if it starts to get to you, you want to cut it short for your segment. That's fine. We've got plenty of things we can fill in. We got people who can do handstands or something like that for world
Nice.
record 8-minute times. So
No, if it gets bad, that's great streaming. Like, you can watch the guy from Stargate like hurl on live stream.
we got him hurling on the stream. We got him.
Yes.
Listen, I mean, you used to get like sick in the series all the time and stuff. So
You had to act through
now
it.
you're just doing it for real for us.
It's, you know what the reality is? No one knows when I'm really sick or not, anyways, because I am the biggest hypochondriac on the planet.
Well, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here again. So I'm curious, like you're saying, you're the geeky type. You've been on our show before, and it's always interesting because I don't think you're the kind of person that like directly follows every hardware release that comes out, but you are always interested in the hardware itself to some degree. If
I
you,
used to. Like when it first, like back in the days of the 808s, I was every single, anything that came out, I read about it. I had to know how it worked, and then I I sort of dropped the ball for like a year around the Pentium, and then that was it. I feel like I know nothing now.
I see that being that kind of happens. I feel like that happens to me on games. Like if I am out of the ecosystem for like a year, the idea of jumping back in is like so much. It puts like this fear into my body of like, oh my god, I'm going to be so far behind. Or like even playing one particular multiplayer game, right? Like if you're a Call of Duty guy and you go in a year late, you might as well wait to the next game.
It's like, might as well just put a target on yourself.
Right. All right.
It's like if you were to jump into WoW now, like what would you even do?
I know. Well, I didn't. I was like when it first came out, I was like, this is it. This is perfect. Then I went, wait a second. This is the end of my life as I know it. So I just didn't.
You just fought the urge.
Yeah, I fought it.
That was a smart move.
I fought games for ages. Like I felt like, I'm so uptight that I always felt like, well, there's something better I should be doing. And then I got a kid, and it's great because all of a sudden it's like I have to. If I want to spend time with my kid, I got a game.
Hence the sweatshirt you're wearing, I assume.
Yes, yeah, I'm a huge Minecraft fan. I mean, it's just an amazing game to me.
That game, I'm going to be honest with you. I've played it maybe 3 times in my entire life, and kind of for the same reason. So I would say the first reason I was kind of opposed to it was like, this is for the kids. But now it's more like I know so many people who are my age or around that are attached to it. It's like, okay, now it's the same thing of, well, I don't have time to build spaceships or calculators in Minecraft, so this is really not the thing I want to start with now at this point in time. So when you play it with your son, what do you like? What is the interaction like? What is it? Are you building?
I just die a lot. And he finds it very amusing. It's like, Dad, get out of the hole. I keep falling in holes. I'm like, I suck. I mean, I suck at playing, but I love it because to me it's like visual math. It's like it's watching the kid build things and work out how to put things together is Lego in a way that you can't do with real Lego,
right?
And I'm really hoping it's going to get him interested in the programming side of stuff, and it's got me back interested in it as well. I mean, Java was something when it first came out that I was absolutely fascinated with. I got the developer kit and played with that, and then to see this game, this wonderful sort of cross-platform game, and how the mods are fascinating to me. How these people are going in there without a proper API and creating mods that just completely change the Minecraft world. That's fascinating to me.
So if we look at the world of hardware, or any kind of tech really, what is interesting you currently? Like what do you find kind of compelling or interesting that you're trying to dive into these days?
Well, the gaming stuff is definitely. I mean, I know I'm late to the party on that, but I feel like the gaming. I don't understand. Like, perfect example of me is I watched World War Z, right? Did I get that right? Is that the right one?
Is that the Fast Zombies movie?
Yes, right. Yeah. Which was not the first. That was the 28 Days Later. It was way better than that. Anyways, let's not go there. That's a whole other nerdy discussion there. But I watched that movie and I was like, you know what? I can understand kids being like, but I can't play it. Like, it's exactly the same. It's like an okay zombie game, except you can't play it.
Right.
So I was like, Hollywood, you're losing. You dropped the ball here. Like, I feel like my industry, which I've spent all my life sort of trying to understand and be a part of, and for all its frustrations and confusing ways, I suddenly went, oh my God, these guys they just don't get it. Like, there's just, they don't understand the games. They don't understand, what people want and especially what the younger generation wants. I mean, my son doesn't watch television or film anymore. I have to sit him down to watch films. It's like him watching historical documents. And I have to say, no, you're damn well going to sit down and watch all of the Raiders movies because, you have to see how bad they become. Excuse me.
Did you, have you seen the previews? What's that movie, Ken, that's in first person? Something Harry?
Yeah, I forget.
Oh, that sounds neat. That's the guy who did, what is it?
I'm blanking.
It's the South African.
The whole movie is in the first person. I saw a trailer for that recently.
Yeah. And the robot, basically, it's from like an android perspective.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's the Elysium guy.
Well, I don't know why I'm blanking on this. First, Hardcore Henry. Hardcore Henry.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's called Hardcore Henry.
Yeah.
I saw a preview for it when I went to go see Deadpool, and the entire movie is in first person. The primary character doesn't speak, or if it does, it doesn't happen in the preview.
Yeah.
And like it's an action movie from a first person shooter perspective. I'm very curious to see if that does anything to kind of address what you're talking about, David, which is like...
Except that it's the same problem. It's like a hobbled version of the game. I mean, like, why do I want to see a first-person movie? Well, I mean, look, it's probably great. I'm not saying there's not a place for that kind of stuff. But from a kid's standpoint, oh, wow, it's first-person. I play that every day. Like,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And and I think that's part of my frustration with the industry is I feel like I'm watching, like, everyone's freaking out about VR right now.
Right.
And I really fought that. I was like, it just looks stupid. Like, that time cover is the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah,
Guy,
it
like,
was.
Yeah.
This like looks like he's like staggering around, which is what everyone's doing. They're staggering around their living rooms. I mean, so I fought it, but then I've been working on a game with a guy that I met through Stargate. I love Stargate because it's always a nerd who knows a nerd who knows a nerd. It's great. And this guy, this Byron Atkinson Jones, he's created this. He's done a number of games, but the one he's working on now is called Caretaker, and it's this. He calls it tactical computer perspective. So basically, it's a reason for it to be sort of a stylized world, like in this spaceship structure. And he's doing this whole game by himself. Like it's just him. And he's got into this VR stuff, and he said he loves it. And then my wife came back from Berlin the other day. Jane gets the cool job. I get to stay in wintry Toronto and shoot dark matter. She gets to go to Berlin and hang out, hobnob with people.
It happens.
As is the case. And there was a VR display there, and she came back and she's like, "We are doing VR. Like we have to do VR." And I have the Oculus development kit up here. I have the Vive upstairs. I don't have a PC to run it because I bought a stupid one.
Yeah, so we actually had Ben Kuchera, who works at Polygon.com, on the stream earlier today, and he's kind of like the primary VR guy there, and he brought in the stuff for show and tell, and he talked. I mean, when he is the enthusiastic person about VR, so that when you get done talking to him, be like, I want to get VR.
He drips with enthusiasm about it.
He really does.
And
I've done a handful. I've done 10 demos.
Dripping with enthusiasm is just not a good thing.
That's true. Well, usually leads to the flu, which is what maybe.
Yeah, I'm dripping with enthusiasm right now too.
I've done enough demos to be really excited about it, but he has seen. So he's got the Vive at his place. He's got one of the early models, and he says he's got like 28 demos that he's able to run through on a regular basis, and he comes away like super impressed. And I'm on the edge, kind of like maybe you were, and maybe still are, where I feel like it's going to be shoehorned into everything, maybe unnecessarily. Like I had a press call with the Associated Press, ironically enough, where they were talking about they're going to integrate VR and 360-degree video into as many of their news stories this year as they can.
Oh,
right. So the idea is, like they take 360-degree video capture equipment into a story, whether it be a place where there's violence going on or a place where what was the one we saw? There's like a tent city of refugees. Right. They were walking around interviewing people. But the idea was like you can look anywhere now, right? Like now you can look anywhere. And to me it was just like, yeah, but don't I want to look at the thing that you're showing me? Like as the director of this content, whether it be a movie or a TV show or news content.
Interesting point.
You should be curating 360 degrees worth of everything down to something that I'm interested in and is worth noting, right? Yeah. So 360 degree gaming or 360 degree movies or whatever you want to do it puts the impetus of knowing where to look when on the person instead of on the content creator. And I think that has the potential to be problematic, I guess.
Yeah, there's some venues that does not suit itself to like online instruction. You don't want 360. You don't want your students to be like,
they
can just do this, and
or you can lean over and look at somebody else's test scores. Or
Although, I mean, the stuff that got, I agree. It smacks a little bit of the choose your own adventure days. Where it's like, what a great idea, and you're going to come up with every single possible. I want to go in here. We haven't built that yet. That's there's a bit of that kind of stuff, but I feel like any new technology, they shoehorn into everything they can. And especially Canada's great at that too, because they have funds. They have like technology funds, and so in order to show that you're leading edge or bleeding edge stuff, they go, oh, VR. So everything's VR, like everything. Jane saw one in Berlin that she loved, which she thought was very smart because it was an insane asylum, and so she was strapped into a wheelchair. She wasn't really, but she put the headset on, and she felt like she was strapped because that was the conceit for the game. And they took them through this insane asylum, and it was like creepy, and it really freaked her out. And she thought it was amazing. My son came home the other end of the spectrum, like, so she had the full immersive, like, it was amazing, the whole thing. My son comes home and he's telling me all about great white sharks and how they're gray from above and white from below, and the reason why, and how he saw this and he saw that and he saw the rainforest. And I was like, what do you mean, you saw a movie or what? Like, what? He goes, no, they had the Google Cardboard in their classroom, and it absolutely. I mean, it was talk about. I mean, you're talking about the students looking away. The idea of walking through, being told about stuff, and you could still hear them talking about it while you look around and see your own perspective of this stuff. I think there's definitely some potential there, and it is a very different way of telling stories. So I'm really curious to see how what can be done with it, and especially from the gaming standpoint. If you want a truly immersive gaming experience, that would be the way to do it. I'm just a little concerned. I just don't see. The thing I love about playing Minecraft with my son is that we sit together. He's usually over there, and I'm here, and we just, we banter back and forth while we do it.
Right.
If we're just staggering around, bumping into each other with these VR things on, I don't know how it's going to work.
If you do that, make sure you have somebody filming it.
You should exactly. Yeah. I mean, there's going to be tons of like VR fail videos.
Oh yeah. Well, Ben was here. He was talking about when he was using it. And there's some demo where like there's a table with a cauldron on it. And you can put different ingredients in it to pick it up and make some potions. And he went to set his controller down on the virtual table. Right, and it just fell. Right, and he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I like the first fail." He saw about like accidentally trying to lean up against the table when it's not there. It's a fake table, and like you could just fall onto your face when you do that type of stuff.
That's neat. I've only ever done the Google Cardboard one, which was for The Expanse. They had this beautiful little sort of ship display, and you could sort of look around the ship basically, which was great, but it wasn't nearly as immersive as the sense I get like with this Vive and stuff, the controllers. I mean, I feel kind of guilty that it's sitting upstairs, like it's just in the box upstairs. So.
You should feel guilty. If you're not going to use it, you should send it to somebody who is going to really utilize it, or somebody could send you some PC hardware to
or you
properly
could do a PC
utilize.
build.
Yeah, you trade me a PC for. Wait a second. Well, I wanted to talk to you guys about it because I started looking at the stats on this stuff, and I'm going to be very geeky, and I'm actually going to pull it up because there was some stuff that blew me away, and I know you guys. The numbers will mean more to you. But they're talking about having to do. Where is it? So they're saying per eye, they're doing 457 million pixels a second, and that doesn't include the eye buffer, which compensates for the actual sort of whatever the aberrations are in the lens.
Right.
I mean, that's a pretty serious PC, right?
It is. If you look at the minimum spec requirements or guides from both Oculus and HTC for the Rift and for the Vive, it's recommending like minimum of a GTX 970 and a minimum of a quad core. I think they recommend like a Core i5 45 something processor. It is I think easily the highest kind of minimum requirement for a game or a platform that we've seen thus far.
Yep.
And the reason is, and I had somebody in the chat was asking me this earlier, is why is it so high? Why is it so high for VR gaming when we have very good high fidelity graphics games today and 4K screens and all that? Why does it seem so high? And the answer is because they want your your floor to be 90 frames per second.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you think about it now, how many people are out there gaming at 25 by 14 or even 1080p where their frame rate never goes below 90 on a reasonably good looking PC game? And the answer is probably zero. or close to 0, right?
And the other issue is it's rendering it twice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's rendering the field for each individual eye, so you're basically forcing the system to do, for the most part, twice the work. Like there's some...
and it's got this buffer as well, apparently, which I don't entirely understand. But there's a whole bunch of extra rendering that they have to do that you never see, which is used to. So there's obviously and it's not dual GPU, which I was surprised.
It's an interesting debate because in theory it would make sense, right, to have
Absolutely.
one GPU per eye.
Yeah.
The problem is multi-GPU tends to introduce slight bits of latency into the render pipeline. And if you do that with VR, the whole goal of VR, the whole point of having 90 frames per second in reality is to minimize latency of what they call pixel to photon. Or no, motion to photon, right?
Yep.
So when you move your head, the processing from the sensors in the headset back to the PC into the game engine, into the GPU to be rendered, to then be output through the display back into your eyeballs. That's like motion to photon, and that has to be very low, lower than it's ever really had to be on any other display before.
Yeah, because if it gets past the threshold, it becomes unconvincing.
It becomes unconvincing. It makes you nauseous.
Yep.
Which is my issue.
I had the issue. So I had a DK1 and a DK2, and neither of those could I honestly use for more than like 10 minutes at a time before I would start to feel sick. And sometimes
I get queasy playing Minecraft sometimes.
Yeah.
So
I think a lot of that particular stuff, like with the VR headsets, is even with the modern stuff, the newer versions of both those platforms. If the game is set up in a way where I can use the mouse to turn my head in the virtual world and turn my head in the virtual world, that doesn't work for me. That's like immediate. Oh, my mind goes, oh no, that's not going to work. And I've had to like back out of a couple of demos of people that are trying to show me their game, because you have to both rotate your head and rotate the mouse in order to look in the right spot to do the right thing. And I'm like,
no, you can't.
That's not me. I know some people have the ability to do that. I don't. So I think VR will be pretty much the talk of PC hardware through 2016.
Well, and this is how jaded I am, because I also feel like, okay, you've got the PC world for normal non-nerds. The PC world has been completely unexciting for God knows how long. There's been no need to really update computers, and VR suddenly goes, oh my God, you are like, everyone's computer is now obsolete. Everyone needs to update everything, and I just feel a bit like there's got to be a lot of hardware companies going like, woohoo, all right, here we go. Yeah, VR, it's amazing. We all need one in our house, because it really is the only reason out there. I mean, short of like professional gaming or 4K, I guess 4K cinema. 4K cinema is the same thing. Everyone's like freaking out about 4K cinema in our industry, and a big part of that is because they just, again, they want. Do we really need it? Yeah, I mean, it's wonderful. It looks beautiful, but more importantly, it sells new monitors. It just keeps that industry going. It keeps that build going.
I don't think you're jaded at all, because I think all of those hardware companies are exactly doing that. NVIDIA, AMD, Intel, not so much, but the graphics card guys are absolutely looking for any way at all to say, you need our higher end model, you need our highest profit margin models. But I'm curious about the 4K thing, because do you think, is 4K going to be the same kind of fad that 3D was on TVs, or do you think?
Which is my concern. Okay. That's my concern as well, because the 3D thing, I'm sorry, but I always felt the 3D I thought it was fun, gimmicky, and it's really fun. There's a great quote by one of the guys who was at one of these sort of like old school film guys, and they said like, is VR and 3D, isn't it a bit gimmicky? And he was sort of laughing and saying like, it's the film industry. It is a gimmick. The whole thing, like the whole idea. I mean, back in the Nickelodeon days when they first started film, it was about, ooh, look, they're moving. It's totally a gimmick. So of course the industry will embrace every new and crazy gimmick that comes up. But 3D, I never bought into. Did anyone get like a 3D TV or anything?
Well, I think I got a 3D TV because. Well, I had to do testing here.
For you just got a model that had 3D.
But like, I just bought a TV. It's like, oh, it happened to have 3D in it. Like the TV in my bedroom has 3D, and I've never taken the glasses out of the box.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
My living room TV, big Samsung TV with 3D. the glasses are still in the box. I don't care about that.
So that makes me the only guy here that's actually watched some 3D movies. Seriously?
I have watched them at like friends' houses or whatever, or like I said, when we did here and we're talking about technology stuff, I've demoed them. I watched, what's the Cameron movie, the big one? Avatar, right? Yeah, the big one that was like, this is the launch one type of thing, and it looked great. And I thought, I don't really want to wear these glasses.
That's the turnoff for me. Is that the glasses usually they have the battery and the electronics are in the nose,
and
they're
like,
just
do I have
heavy.
enough sets for the 5 people that are coming over to watch a movie?
Well, that's the next thing. Yeah, I mean, and they never. I mean, I guess they did do some glassless ones, didn't they? They did some kind of a.
They did passive glasses, but I don't think they ever did glasses-less ones.
Oh, really?
Or if they did, they weren't like mainstream pricing.
It was very tricky. Everything in your head had to be like in a perfect, in certain
If you ever used a Nintendo 3DS, that lenticular 3D effect, you have to be within a very narrow area.
Yeah.
And in fact, with later DSs, they had eye tracking.
And we turn down the 3DS 3D thing all the time. Like, it just doesn't help you play the game at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's interesting. I keep coming back to that Time cover. Like, I think he did himself such a great disservice, the Oculus guy, by being on the front of that magazine, because it pointed out, like, I suddenly had this like flashback to like 1960s. It's the car of the future, like it's just like, it's going to have a tea caddy in the, like, it's just all these like ridiculous bells and whistles. I at the same time, I'm as scared as I mean, Hollywood runs on fear. Like, everyone is terrified of missing out on the next big thing.
Yep.
And I often feel like, I joke with my wife that I'm a week ahead of people. I feel like generally I'm like, I'm just becoming aware of something that I think could be the next thing, and then like a week later it hits and I missed it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I just need to somehow extend that gap a little bit more. Maybe I'd make some money. And VR, I've resisted, but so many people have tried it, including Jane, who is she is not enamored with technology at all. I am fighting for my PC, my VR PC right now. So she's not that enamored with the stuff, but she was absolutely blown away by it.
Well, I think that's a shoe-in. If she is so enamored with it, that's a perfect reason to build a PC.
Yes, but honey, we have to build this.
Right.
I was like, well, honey, if we're going to do development, I mean, we have the development kit here, and Byron should probably come and stay with us for a while.
Yeah. You got to.
I think the way that VR headset stuff will go, like in 5 or 10 years out or whatever, I think it'll be more like the Glyph. You know what the Glyph is?
Yeah.
That like
the one that looks like the Geordie LaForge piece.
Yeah, it's basically, but it's not just a whole screen that has to sit over your eyeballs. It's just a thing that, if they miniaturized it enough, could be, a thing that's sitting in front of your eyes, and if you happen to look down or something or up, then you would just.
Something about bifocal VR.
Well, no, it basically, you only have the effect when you're like, it's because it uses your eye as part of the optics for the whole thing to work.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you have to look at a screen. It's just like if your cornea is at a certain point in space, like
it just projects onto it.
Yeah, it basically projects directly on your retina. That's what the Glyph is.
So obviously the next step is implanted.
No, but I think it would still be like that, but just like maybe something where they can make that small enough and out of the way enough to where you can still look like a normal person and not have a big
I'm all for that. I mean, look, it's funny you talk about the implanted stuff. Eventually there are going to be ways of tapping in, obviously, to physically tapping into our brains to allow this stuff to happen, which again, not something to be taken lightly. Like, I'm talking with Q right now, the guy I'm doing the documentary about, or with, basically, not really about, it's with. And he wants nothing to do with implant. Like, he doesn't want any, there's no surgery involved in anything he wants to do. It's all external stuff. I'm like, well, come on, man. Like, let's just, get something put in. I have no qualms about that kind of stuff. Maybe it's because I'm an actor. I'll be getting as many implants as I need to lift this a little bit.
You gotta get the surgery and implants and Botox, no problems.
No problem.
But I mean, basically, you could go as far as saying that chemicals could be the way to. Now this is going down a whole other road, isn't it? But the idea that we are really just sort of bags of chemicals. Maybe there's a way of tricking the brain into thinking that these things are happening in a way that you want them to. So.
I absolutely believe that would be the case eventually.
I think there have been ways to take virtual reality trips since the 1960s.
Yes, I was just gonna go there. Like, I think they need to be a little more fine-tuned for what we want.
Yeah, that I'm not entirely thrilled about. I don't like the idea of like experimenting with that. I think I'll hold off on that.
In the 60s and 70s, they did a lot of VR research.
Yeah,
yes.
Just random VR is the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like
It was chaotic VR.
What was that?
It was chaotic VR.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, there's something about. I mean, when you look at, when you look at something like Clockwork Orange, where they were basically playing with this stuff already, weren't they? The idea of like, just sort of forcing people's eyes open and only allowing them to see certain things. And I mean, we've been fascinated with the idea of like having things on our faces and just being inundated with information for forever. So it makes sense that we've sort of got there now. I actually prefer. I think in my mind, I feel that augmented reality is a better solution.
I agree. So there was a tweet that I really liked, and I can't remember what it said precisely, but it was like it basically said like the AR versus VR battle. Those are two very different things, and it was.
I don't think it's a battle. They really are different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea, like, I think it was like AR will bring the world to you, VR takes you to the world, something to that effect.
Okay.
Right? Where AR allows you to interact with data and information in one way. Sitting here, we could, like we're going to play Risk later on a giant touchscreen PC that lays on the table. But if we all had AR glasses, we wouldn't need any of that.
You mean VR glasses?
No, AR.
Oh.
If we had AR, we could have the
true.
Risk board here, and we would be interacting with it in a different way. We'd all have our own different viewports.
Well, it's the chess set from Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only you have to wear glasses. No, I love that because I gotta be the only person who's gonna say this, but I miss Google Glass. Because I loved the idea that my little reading glasses here could have, PC access to information that I need, or to help, look up a word when I'm reading, or while I'm trying to fix something, be able to pull up information about schematics or whatever. I mean, imagine doing a PC build and having being able to look at the process and have all the information about it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, doing your show would be amazing because you could be pulling up stats and stuff as you go.
You're definitely not the only person that misses it. I don't miss that form factor. I don't miss that battery life. I don't miss that
Oh
implementation.
no, it was a disaster. I mean, the battery life was a joke.
The implementation was.
You actually tried it.
I don't want to say it was bad.
Right?
I had one. Yeah. I had a set. I bought a set and then I returned
I played
it.
with them too. Do you bought one? You actually paid for it?
But then I returned it.
Oh, okay.
Right, like right inside that 30-day window, because what happened was I used it, like I got it around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Like I took it to all my family events. Everybody was amazed by it. They wanted to see it. And then one day, like 2 weeks later, I put it down, and then like 4 days went by, and I'm like, oh yeah. And I was like, yeah, it turns out I don't need that.
Yeah.
Right? But it was an implementation thing. It wasn't that the information that it provided was bad or that I couldn't see it. Because you're right, like, especially if you're already wearing glasses, the idea of it projecting that onto the lenses directly, or something like that could be really useful. I would love to have it just for facial recognition.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just to be like, honestly, that's that's exactly me. I go into these stupid things, but there's like 100 people saying like, "Hey, David," and you're like, "Hey, dude."
I'm the worst at that. Like, can anybody who goes on a trade show with me will know. And I have one rule when I go, like if my wife comes with me on a trip, I say, "Here's the rule. If somebody walks up to me and they say, 'Hey, Ryan,' they start talking to me, if I have not introduced you to them within 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you introduce yourself to them and say, 'Oh, sorry, I'm Kelly.' And then he says what his name is, and then that's how I get the information."
And then you go, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. Silly me. I didn't introduce you."
That's a good idea.
That's a good social engineering trick.
Oh, you don't do that? I do that all the time.
I gotta start doing that.
Well, Jane will do it with my family. Like, this is Kate, your sister.
Oh yeah, that's right, my sister. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I have like 5 younger sisters. I get their names wrong all the time.
So tell me a little bit about the project you are working on. You mentioned Q. I know something that you and I have talked about a little bit recently.
Yeah, it's Q is this kid I met. Well, he's 20, 21, 22. I guess he doesn't consider himself a kid. I consider everyone a kid now because I'm so old. But I was doing this silly little YouTube thing, and I said when I grow up, I wanted to be Han Solo. But the reality is, I ended up being C-3PO. That's sort of where I went with my life, and I said, who are you and what did you want to be? And I got a bunch of responses. And one of the responses I got was this incredibly geeky one, where he was like, "I want to be, I am a human, but that is no longer enough. I would like to be a cyborg." And I'm like, oh boy, this guy's like in a whole other world. Do not make eye contact. But like the glutton for punishment that I am, I sort of looked into this guy, and he has a form of SMA type 2 Not a form of. He has SMA type 2, which is a sort of a form of muscular dystrophy, basically. So it's a degenerative disease. He can't move. He had limited movement when he was growing up, but he's now basically completely bedridden. And he wants to use technology. He's fascinated with technology and robotics and molecular biology, and also, I mean, he's just like every day I talk to him, he's got a different thing that he's interested in. He's just been made like a chief science officer or something at this Australian startup company that's doing, God, what did he call it? What is the term? I had to write it down because I thought it was so cool. Cellular agriculture.
Interesting.
So anyway, so he's just this amazing brain trapped in a body that really can't leave his bed, but he wants to have physical control over the outside world. He wants to do. He's big into cooking. He loves cooking and experimenting with cooking and stuff. And so I started talking to him, and I was a lot. We talked a lot. And finally, my wife sort of came down one day and said, like, you just, like, I said, she's like, you talk to him more than you talk to your friends. Like, why don't we make a movie about this guy? Like, you know. So we started this film called Upgrade Required, which is about Q's quest to become a cyborg and what's out there and available to him, what he can do to do this. And then, of course, in talking with him, and for the last year or so, he can't do anything. Like, he can make contact with people, and he makes contact with people all over the place. He's got these amazing ideas. I mean, he wrote a little piece that I did the voiceover for about this cellular agriculture, and then that's how he got picked up for this job and stuff. So he's out there doing stuff all the time, but he can't physically build any of the stuff he wants to build. So we sort of quickly realized that that's going to be our job. So it's become almost less about a film and more about the idea of trying to put together these technologies and bring in as many people as we can to help make some of this stuff happen. He's created he's come up with a very sort of rudimentary exo neck that he wants to build, which, I mean, it's so ridiculous. We just take this for granted. But if you can't move your neck, you are so limited in what you can do. Even with a computer, if his head flops, that's it. It's there. Like, you can't move it again. So he's come up with a system that would basically just allow him to rotate his head just to start left and right. That was it. That's all he wants to do. And then he's hoping to do some more. But we're going out and talking to people. Like I say, I know a nerd who knows a nerd who knows a nerd. There's always somebody. And that's, of course, and that's why obviously I've been speaking with Ryan and Josh and stuff about this. But we're just trying to put something together for him. And in the process, I meet these amazing people. I go to these, whenever I go somewhere, I sort of put out a call and say, hey, who's got something they want that might apply to Upgrade Required? And I had a kid in Warwickshire when we were out visiting there who had been working on a brain-computer interface for a wheelchair for his thesis. So I go out there and I crashed that into a few desks, and he showed me how this stuff works. And so I think we started off with a film. It's almost now like an engineering project. And I think what makes the most sense for us probably is, I think we're going to try to look into making it as a television series, because literally every week there's something new to look into. And it's like, for a nerd like me, it's like, I love it because it's robotics. It's molecular biology, which I know nothing about, but I get my marching orders. Like, he sort of starts talking about stuff. I'm like, okay, I better go look that up. And I feel that other people might sort of get sucked into this the way I have. And in doing the research about this stuff, I've met other people in his situation, and they all have this same incredibly high level of intelligence and interest and engagement in the world. And 15 years ago, they wouldn't be able to do anything. Like, they'd be shut-ins. They couldn't. There was no way to communicate. There was no way to be an active part of the world. And now they can be. And I'm convinced that because this physical body has been removed from their concern, really. I mean, there's nothing they can do. It's they're relying on other people to sort of deal with their physical bodies. That their minds have become these amazing, almost like transcended human type. They're going to rule the world. In the future, I'm convinced, because they're having to train their mind to do so much more than we do. So
it's a super interesting project. I was glad Josh found it and brought it up to me as well, because I know it's something that we're trying to figure out how to help you with as well. What would you? So if somebody wants to follow that, if somebody wants to follow this progress, is there a place already where they can start to do that?
Yeah, we have my website has some sort of basic information about it, which is changing all the time. The best thing, honestly, is my Twitter. Like I keep, I just keep sort of dropping little things here and there about who we've talked to and stuff. Like we just talked to Double Robotics. I saw this great little telepresence robot that they created, and so in my typical cheeky way, I sort of said, "Hey, we could use one for upgrade required," and they got in touch and they talked to us, and sure enough, they're gonna lend us one of those, and it's just that kind of stuff. So I just keep going with that. But yeah, it's filmtvinternet.com has some information about it as well. So
that's cool stuff. So like I said, let us know, let me know, let Josh know whenever, if you need anything, if you want to talk about any of that kind of stuff at any point, we'll schedule the time to do so. We'd absolutely love to be involved in that project.
That would be great. Yeah, I feel like it's stuff that you guys might get a kick out of too, because there's a lot of technology stuff. You guys were playing with the Arduino boards and stuff too, weren't you?
Yep. Ken does a lot of that stuff here. Yeah.
And we started playing with 3D printers, which is kind of related as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. He was a huge 3D. Oh, look at that. Oh wow, what are you building?
It's a secret. You're supposed to guess.
Yeah, you have to guess.
Yeah,
so we've been a very big bowl.
We've been printing this for 6 hours, and that's where it's at. So
6 hours. And how much of that? No, okay, so 3D printing.
Yeah.
Are you liking that?
Yeah. We're really just now starting into it. I did. So Ken had a little bit more of experience with this through like a robotics and a group at school. And I literally knew zero about it. And I said, Monoprice is a company that we work with, and they were like getting into selling 3D printers. I said, send me a 3D printer, like your basic 3D printer, and a bunch of filament, and we're gonna Ryan's gonna figure out how to do this from scratch, knowing nothing about it, like how to do it, like what the file formats are, what the process is. So the first episode was up of me like putting together the 3D printer and like printing out the first thing we did, which was a swan, like a little swan caricature. And so we've already used it. Like we printed a GoPro mounting kit for our GoPro, which is currently being used to show that shot of 3D printer, right? And so we're kind of getting started. That pretty much all we've made for now is like little toys and little useless pieces, but like. You see people like Thingiverse.com has just lots of things that are actually really cool. Like you want to you can print out a headphone stand for your headphones, right?
Yeah,
you want to
they're
print
all
out
practical things.
Yeah. And
how hard is it to? I mean, if do you have to know much about the 3D software and stuff? I mean, is it fairly basic or is it?
It depends on what your goal. Like if you're downloading stuff from Thingiverse, and Ken, correct me if I'm wrong, most of the time you're getting it in the format that's kind of ready to print.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what is the format? What does it use?
It's a STL file, just a 3D modeling file.
And apparently it's like XML.
Oh, really?
Right?
Yeah.
No, I thought that's what you told me. Like it's just
but it's maybe not XML.
It's basically like coordinates.
Yeah, it's a bunch of coordinates that just makes the 3D thing.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there's an intermediate step where to make the 3D printer, that particular 3D printer, be able to print that thing correctly, like if there's supports or some stuff. But that's usually.
Like you essentially take the STL file and put it through software that translates it to your specific 3D printer.
Yeah, but for the most part, that right as it is right now, that tends to be just like a 1 or 2 step. Like it's not really.
As long as you're not the one doing the 3D modeling.
Yeah.
Right? It seems to be...
You don't have to do that much.
You don't have to do that much, right? Now, if you want to get into a 3D model, you have to get into applications like slicers that basically will go through it layer by layer and determine what kind of substructure there needs to be to hold that structure together.
That is how you turn an STL file into what you print.
Yeah, that's part of that process.
It's that translation layer.
But there's software that kind of does that.
The software that handles all that stuff for you.
So really, it's just...
So there's software that... So if you build something, if you build like a 3D thing structure in whatever software you're using.
Yep.
There's a program that will then say, oh, you're going to need supports for this, and I mean it figures all that out for you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that varies based on the 3D printer you're using.
And based on yeah. And like the we have a single extruder here. There's a dual extruder that can do multiple different filaments at the same time.
Yep, 2 different colors.
We have filaments that are like water soluble, so like it builds a substructure that it needs while it's being built, but once it's finished, it doesn't need that, so you soak it in water, and that stuff washes away.
That's cool. So it just uses a different material for that. Nice. There's a lattice work inside that just gets dissolved.
Yep.
That's funny. Q was talking about that with food creation, because his article was about the idea of creating fake meat, and he was talking about, it sounds charming, but he used a fungal process of creating meat. But part of the problem with meat is the texture. Texture is the thing that people miss. So he was talking about creating this sort of like plastic lattice.
Yeah.
Like the tiny, microscopic lattice that you would grow the stuff on. But the problem would be trying to sell people on eating plastic, basically.
Well, I mean, the plastics we're using now, when it's making it, it smells like cornflakes. Because it's essentially...
That's a bonus.
It's a cornstarch-based.
It's a cornstarch-based thing, so it's like it smells like cornflesks.
We had a biodiesel car for a while when we were living in Washington.
Yeah.
And I could just stand there smelling French fries the whole time. I just thought, honey, start the car. I'll be back here.
Well, I really appreciate you being on, David. I'm super excited that you the project you're working on. I'm also glad that you fought through your flu to come join us here for a little bit.
Yeah, I actually feel better now. A little bit of geeking out. I feel
get the juices flowing, get the adrenaline going.
My son may get a game of Magic out of me after
There you
all.
go. So if somebody wants to follow you or catch up and keep track of what you're doing, where's the best place for viewers to do that?
I think on a daily basis, I'm a Twitter fiend, so at D Hewlett is the best bet for that. But also filmtvinternet.com is my website, and that's more the film corporate thing. So there's a bit of marketing stuff there, but it's Twitter's the best way.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, David.
Thank you, and enjoy.
We'll keep in touch.
I can't believe I missed the VR part. I came in and you guys were you had asses for heads and you were playing video games.
Yeah, that's right.
What was that game, by the way? Because my son's going to love that.
What was it called? Rampage Nights. KNIGHTS.
Rampage Nights. And what's it on? Is it a Steam thing?
It's on Steam, yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Very cool. Yeah, I came in for that. I was like, oh, my son was like, he's missing out on this.
We'll have the VR segment up on YouTube for on-demand playback later this week, Monday or Tuesday.
Yep.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. I will. Yes, I will have a look.
And then we need to get your Vive running on something.
Yes. I have some specs that I'm gonna look into. I mean, it's a bit of a spend, but I figure it's probably worth it.
Probably.
Yeah. Better
All right.
be, so I can look like that guy on the front cover of Time.
Stay in touch.
All right, guys. Look, thank you very much. Enjoy, and we'll talk soon.
All right. See you, David.
All right.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
All right, everybody. With that, we are halfway through
Yay!
our 12-hour live stream.
Which means as long as we've been doing this, we have to do all of it again.
Right, but don't you feel
We
like
get to do all of it
revitalized?
again.
That's
yes,
true.
you get to.
Streaming machine hasn't crashed.
No.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was the worst thing.
What is wrong with you?
I mean, the CPU cores are all running at like 105C, but hey.
It's getting really hot in here.
Yeah.
Okay, here's what we've got going on now. Our next call is going to be Tom Peterson.
Do we have to?
Yeah, he went out. Look, so he's doing it from his house, right? And he didn't have a camera, and he didn't have a microphone. Like he got a camera. He went out and bought a Logitech C920, and he set it up, and then we did a test call. And I said, "What microphone are you using?" It's like, "Oh, just
microphone on the camera?
one on the webcam." And I was like, "It sounds like crap. What else do you got?" And he says, "Oh, I've got this one. This is one I use for gaming." And you know what it was? It was one of those stick mics.
Like one of those $10 mics?
Well, I don't know if it was $10, but it was.
Did it have like gateway written on it, or like
Right, exactly.
Compact.
I was like, Tom, come
Packard
on, get
Bell.
one. But apparently they have same day delivery
how does he still have one of those?
where he's at.
does
So
he
he
even-
ordered a Blue Yeti. So,
Okay.
So at least he's got a good mic and stuff for us. I have no idea what we're going to talk about there either. But so far I've done pretty good. We have had 0 talking points except for what Ben brought in for us as well. Now we are going to do another giveaway here in just a little bit. So if you haven't yet gone to pcper.com/SOL contest, stands for Streaming Out Loud. If you have not yet gone there, go there now. I'll give you a couple of minutes to enter in all your information and enter in for the contest. The next giveaway is going to be for, we're going to give away, an MSI X99S SLI Crate Edition motherboard.
Nice.
As well as a MSI Thunderstorm mouse pad. Actually, I'm going to Google this, X99S SLI Crate, so I can really show a picture of it, so I can know what we're looking at here. So we're going to give that away in just a little bit, so make sure you go to that URL. And if you like what we're doing here, guys, if you think it's interesting, if you like seeing guests like David, like Ben, like Andrew, and all the guys we've had and will have coming up today, go do us a favor, go to patreon.com/PCPer, look at what we're doing, consider making a monthly recurring donation contribution to the site and to the guys here. We're trying to get a bunch of stuff
we're
going
getting close
here.
to that next goal.
We are getting close up there to the next goal. I've seen a lot of new subscribers come in, and we'd like to see even more of you do so. I mean, because really, I wouldn't have Tom Peterson on here just for our own volition, right? Like,
Sure.
he's got to bring in the guys with the big money,
Yeah.
right? Is that how that works?
Strong arm them into signing up on our Patreon.
Right. So this is the X99S SLI Crate. That's right. This is the kind of the black and white and silver-ish design
What's
to
the
it.
significance of calling it crate?
I believe the crate is that snake.
Oh. Okay.
Right? I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was like a lizard.
Crate.
It looks like a snake.
So it sounds like, like box crate, but
It's
spelled-
KRAIT.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yes. It is not.
I was like, it's a big box motherboard? Like,
It's
what?
not. Yeah. It's not that. No. So it's an
It's a
X99
good-looking
platform
motherboard.
motherboard. It's a good-looking board.
I like those. Yeah, I've seen a few of the crates, and they have them in different chipsets. But that obviously X99, so you can get your
Get yourself a
hexa-core.
5820 or a 5930 or a 5960 if you really want to go all
40
out
PCIe lanes.
for it. Yeah.
Nice monochromatic design.
So we'll give that away in just
Very
a little
European.
bit.
That's a
Here.
good design if you have RGB like case lighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything
you
kind of
definitely want
reflects
a
off of
clear
it.
side panel with that motherboard.
Yeah.
Or maybe a desk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It turns out that most motherboards do fit inside of an entire desk.
Most motherboards do. Yes, I will agree with that sentiment. I'll go with that.
I might be playing it a little safe, but
Yeah.
you could fit quite a few components inside of a desk.
Oh man. Okay, so we'll give it just a minute here. Anything in the chat coming up, guys?
Nothing,
Worth
significant.
Let's see.
well, everything they say is significant. That is not the right wording.
Nothing of significance for answering of questions.
Wow.
Any interesting comments worth making? Like, what did people think about what David had to say?
Lots of people were like, is that Rodney?
Oh, Jeremy
We're
in
like,
the chat
yes.
brings up Star Wars. Obi-Wan simulates the cry of a crate dragon, doesn't he?
Is that what that is?
I don't know.
Oh, when he saves Luke.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
In
yeah,
A New
yeah.
Hope.
Yeah. I
Was
thought
it
you
a
were
crate?
about
Was it a crate? There was some word similar to that.
We'll go with that.
I don't know the answer.
It sounded
to that,
familiar.
so I'm gonna
Why
go
do you
with
guys in the chat want me to install a distro of Linux?
Why not?
Like, what? I mean, I've done
Next
it
time.
before.
that. It's like watching a Windows install.
Like, yeah.
It's so
it's
simple.
worse.
Like installing Linux is.
No, we'll do a
Brain dead
Slackware
simple.
install next time.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the last Slackware install I did, I had a RAID card, and I had to recompile the damn kernel.
Well, yeah,
just
it's
so that the
Slackware.
thing
You
would
always
work.
have to recompile the damn kernel.
Yeah, yeah.
Other than
I don't even know if
let's
that's
see,
actively being maintained anymore.
Fedora and Ubuntu are all I've done in the last 5 years.
Yeah, that's just click install.
Yeah,
installer.
exactly.
We'll install
such-
Arch.
Yeah, that was a steep learning curve I never want to do again in my life, is just dealing with Slackware.
I don't even think people do that anymore.
No.
I don't think that's a thing.
Thank
Just don't do
goodness.
it.
Can Australians enter the competition?
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, no.
Oh,
But yes.
They want me to install the hacked Mint Linux.
Mint is great because it's like Ubuntu, but it's got it's pre-configured for multimedia. Isn't that what Mint is all about? Like it has all of the codecs and everything that you're going to need.
I honestly
Even though
couldn't
some of
tell
them are
you.
third-party.
This is a crate, apparently. Somebody linked. It looks like a snake to me.
So I used to have to use Linux at work all the time. 'cause
Hey, Fedora 23 fanboy says it's not that hard anymore.
actually, we used Fedora where I used to work. And if you know where I
I
used to
used
work,
Fedora.
you know, we used Fedora and we had VMs under it, and then we debugged like the stuff we had to reverse engineer on Windows
this is
VMs
this is actually kind of a funny picture.
under Fedora.
Let's see.
Oh, it's a crate mouse.
All right.
That's actually pretty good.
That's pretty
I'm not
good.
gonna lie. That's pretty funny. Not too shabby. All right. I gave you guys enough time. Let me go over here and figure out who our winner is. Do the pick. I'll send out a tweeter here about Tom, I guess.
I guess.
You know, we're really all winners, Ryan. All the viewers.
Oh yes, all the viewers for sure. Yeah,
I have to say, by the way, you didn't have to do this, but I do appreciate the recognition, since you are obviously doing this 12-hour stream in honor of my second anniversary with PC Perspective.
Oh.
That began in March of 2014.
I thought you meant like the specific day.
No,
too.
March 13 actually was the day.
It's felt like an
my
eternity.
first story was published. Right around this time, 2 years ago, I was having another horrible draft probably sent back and said, can you do a little bit better than this?
All right, here's the winner of the motherboard from MSI as well as the mousepad. Thomas S.
That's awful close to Thomas Peterson.
But Thomas Peterson doesn't live in Kennewick, Washington.
Is Tom your Matt Damon, Mr. Jimmy
Yeah.
Kimmel?
I don't know what that means.
Is that how this is working?
Tom. Sorry, we didn't have time for Tom.
Is that where we're going with that?
Thomas S. from Kennewick, Washington, who his winning entry was signing up for the PC Perspective Live newsletter. Mm-hmm. And I can think of no other way, right? Like clearly you want to be able to have other events like these, right, notified and sent into your mailbox. If you enjoyed this content, consider supporting in-depth technical content by contributing at patreon.com/PCPer.